Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Brostechtalk Podcast. I have two great guests today. It's my cousin Matt and my good old friend Puneet. And Puneet was actually from the original Brostechtalk Podcast, so he's back at it now with us. Thank you guys for both coming.
Thank you for having us.
So today's episode, we're going to be talking about the evolution of console gaming. So we're going from, we're going to go from Atari
The very first one.
to, what do we got? Nintendo,
N64.
Jaguar. Remember Jaguar? Atari Jaguar.
Jaguar was a system?
Yeah, Atari
Really?
Jaguar, yeah.
No, I've never heard of Jaguar.
Yeah, Atari Jaguar.
Wow.
Neo Geo. Neo Geo.
Man, it sounds so familiar.
Yeah, Neo Geo.
To handhelds.
Handhelds, yeah, you remember the PlayStation handheld, the
Yeah.
original one?
I mean the OGs of the Game Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
All of
Game
them.
Boys.
Yep.
So, well, if we're going to start, we're going to start from the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
from what we are. This is all from our point of views. If we miss anything, sorry, you guys. From the first console that I ever used was a Atari.
That was yours?
That was the OG Atari with the little joystick
Yeah.
and the red button on the top.
Yeah.
And the button on the side. That's...
And then you gave it to me, and I started using it.
And then
from there on, bro.
Yeah, and then
Everything changed.
I upgraded to the Nintendo.
Okay.
And I had the NES for a while. I learned actually not too long ago, blowing into the cartridge did help.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
Well,
that
no,
means,
no,
yeah.
but-
That
no,
worked
no,
on
no.
everyone's.
But do you know the reason why?
I'm assuming you had to collect some sort of dust or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
100% it was
No,
dust.
it was. But the thing was, that it was the contacts. So the spit from your mouth would actually like make a better contact with the actual.
I remember
card.
we used to slam it.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you
it
would
made it
turn
really-
it on.
yeah.
You would get that screen, you take it right back out, blow into
had
it,
to-
and slam
yeah,
it back
yeah.
in, and then it would
It
turn
would
on.
actually help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with dust.
No.
It had
No, that
nothing
was
to do
just
with
the way things were. Even like for me, I started off with Super Nintendo.
It's a classic right there.
You know, that was my start off. You know, came home one day, my pops put this on my bed, and then I'm like, what is this? Right? I have no idea. Played a game with the freaking a plumber in a red outfit.
Wait, tell me,
Right.
you never even tried it anywhere?
I had no idea what a game
He just brought it to you,
he-
you put it in?
He just put it on, and then I looked at it. Obviously, I saw the controllers and everything, so I could kind of put one and one
That's
together, right? Then I put on the TV. I started playing Super Mario World. That was my first ever experience
That's dope.
of into the gaming world, right? And like I didn't. It's not like I requested it or wanted it, right? It was just here, and then that was it. It was game over. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
they fucked up after that. After that, it was all.
I need the next one. I need the next
I
one.
just need the next
I
one
need this
going
one
forward.
and I need this one. The Super Nintendo 64.
Well, no. I think
Oh.
you go Super Nintendo and then you go to Sega Genesis.
I went to Sega Genesis. Yeah, you're right.
We all jumped on Sega
yeah,
Genesis.
Sega with their cartridges as well.
Correct. And then from there, that's when we moved into
N64.
yeah.
N64.
And that
And
was
the
like a
Dream-
dramatic jump at that point.
But
Yeah.
was that before or after Sega CD?
Yeah, but Sega CD was like almost like an expansion to.
You know, I think the greatest like improvement
Mhm.
was Dreamcast.
At that time.
At that time, yeah,
yes.
if we're
At the
talking
time.
at that
it was,
time.
It was ahead of its
Yeah,
time. For
it
sure.
was ahead of its time, and they screwed up royally
Yeah.
when they didn't copyright anything.
Well, Nintendo always felt like it had your typical gaming experience, you know?
Yes.
Like your warm-hearted, feel like a child gaming
Yes,
experience
yeah.
came from Nintendo.
100%.
Like even if you play Nintendo now, you still get a little bit of that because
That
they don't
nostalgia,
kind of
yeah.
go away from it, right?
Mhm.
But like when you played back then Dreamcast, right? It was like for my first game on Dreamcast was Crazy Taxi.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say
that's
Crazy
exactly
Taxi.
what I remember.
I was
Everyone's
thinking
was
right
Crazy
now.
Taxi,
I
right?
was,
100%. Wow.
The fluidity of the
Yeah.
game, right?
It was
And you only
amazing.
have like a minute to like
You have
drive
a minute
around,
to
and then you
pick
gotta
everyone.
restart it and do the same thing all over again.
Where you have to make the most money in a minute. It's like an Indian man's dream come true.
Yes.
Yeah, taxi driver is going and just making money in a minute.
That's how you train.
That's how, that's how we train. That's how you train by Crazy Taxi. You're like, if he could do it in a minute, I
Yeah,
can go out
yeah.
there and do it on my
So you're a
own.
tip?
Huh?
Taxi and training?
Taxi
driver
and training.
training?
That's what I mean, look, as many Indian people in Chicago were in training, I'm sure Dreamcast was probably a part of that.
Oh, guaranteed.
Well, they were in the same.
They had the full thing like an arcade, bro. They had it. They had it at the like garage.
Yeah.
But Dreamcast was in the same realm as PlayStation 2 and Xbox, right?
I want to say
It was in the same. If I remember correctly, it was all in the like. It
It
all
was
came
the
out at
same-
the same time.
they were all around the same time. But again, like in my eyes, Nintendo had those games for like the Dreamcast. They had the games, but they weren't anywhere near PlayStation.
No,
and
They're exclusive games.
No.
On
like you were
PlayStation
saying, it's
yeah.
games made for kids. There's not any. Sorry, there's not any intense games.
Right.
There's nothing like that.
No, not at all. It's more like you have your. I wouldn't even say they're like child games. You know, I mean, you got your Mario's, you've got your
Sonic,
Sonic stuff, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
all that. And it's not that they're children games, but like the simplicity of those games,
Yeah.
right? Like Mario wasn't complicated, Sonic
Yes, it
wasn't
was, bro.
complicated.
When we were
You know
kids, it was.
Well, because at that point you're just running right and jumping.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then once Dreamcast came out, now you can go
3D.
up, you can go down,
You started having
anywhere.
you started having more of an open world
Yeah.
sense.
How many
right?
times did you mess up on Super Mario? And don't lie.
Oh, dude, I messed up a lot.
All the time.
Oh,
I mean, as a child, trying to figure that stuff
you,
out.
you know what was is a gigantic game that I didn't even know was Sonic
Which one?
the Hedgehog game, just like the
No,
OG.
The original,
yeah,
oh,
OG
it was
for sure.
huge.
Gigantic.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Dude, Sonic was a pretty big
How-
hit.
Sonic was, to me was the first game where I played where you can actually do like a cheat code and then you
Yeah.
can access all the levels.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
And then
I
I
never
was
knew
like,
that.
dude,
I didn't even
what
knew
the-
they even had cheat
Oh,
codes
dude.
Really?
for Sonic.
Was
The-
it the
Up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right.
I think the
think
first
ABC.
cheat code I've ever had to really memorize had to be in Grand Theft Auto for me. Like when
Oh,
Grand Theft
yeah.
Auto
Hell yeah,
3,
I remember all
when
those.
Grand Theft Auto 3 came out,
Yep.
that's when like I had to go online and look up all the cheat
Search.
What do you
codes.
think me and him would be doing? Print, copy, print.
But that's until
Yeah.
Game Shark came out.
Oh, I was
And
just
then
gonna
Game
say
Shark
Game
took it to
Took it
a
over.
whole-
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
man.
hey, come on.
Yeah.
Whoever had the
Yeah.
best Grand Theft or Gran Turismo.
Turismo.
Gran Turismo. Hey, do you know about my Viper in Gran Turismo?
What about it?
It's the most ridiculous vehicle you'll ever see.
Which Grand Turismo are we talking about? The
The
OG?
original.
The original
The first
OG,
one, okay.
Yeah.
It was a GTS. It was silver with the brown, with the blue stripes,
Yeah.
and it was like with the Game Shark codes, it was like what 76,000.
It was
Like,
some
insane
ridiculous
how- yeah.
number of horsepower.
And it was like 9,000 pounds of torque.
Mm.
So there was no traction. There was no driving. Like, how many people can control it?
I think one, and that was just you. Or like when I used to play, I would do the map where it's just a circle, and
Yeah.
you're just grinding the rail.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know
Just a
that,
wall,
that-
dude.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
circle,
yeah,
but you're
yeah,
going
yeah.
like 300 miles
Yeah,
an
yeah,
hour.
yeah. You're just going
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and when you would rev it, it would sound like Alien.
No way.
It wouldn't even sound like a.
Like
Because
a normal
like
vehicle.
it was so insane that the game couldn't process it. Like it couldn't process the insaneness of the
I
car.
think the game's almost like, how did we allow you to make this car?
Basically.
So like to the point where I would pay attention sometimes to the actual car,
Yeah.
and like you would see it ripple, like it would ripple, like the game was
couldn't
trying,
keep-
yeah,
yeah,
it couldn't keep up.
up.
It couldn't keep up with the speed of the car.
Damn.
It was going over 300 easy miles an hour, not kilometers.
Yeah,
Miles
Game
an
Shark
hour.
was way ahead of its time in what we needed, because you couldn't access cheat codes the way you do now. You know.
It was different. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no.
Well, yeah. It's like I feel like you don't even need cheat codes nowadays.
No,
It's
you
like,
really don't.
It's
You just
the
buy
way
it.
the way the yeah you just buy
Just
it
buy it.
the way the games is. But I think just to kind of detour on the different conversation, me and Matt were talking about the revolution of gaming with multiplayer.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, multiplayer opened up completely with Halo, right?
Yep.
Halo had some of the best guns, like just using the vehicles in general, the overall team aspect behind it.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, there was I don't believe we were able to play online, so we had to.
You all had to be together.
We had to be together,
Yeah.
right? So that experience of like that whole togetherness of like all of us getting together, right? Actually seeing each other in person,
and then
right?
competing against
And
each
then
other.
you're in a room,
Yeah.
you have your setup,
Yeah.
right? And you're competing, right? Granted, everything's a lot easier now. Like, yeah, I can stay at home and still have that experience. But the
It's not
fact
the
that
same.
it's not
No.
it's not the same at all.
No.
Like having someone by you right? Playing on the same screen,
Yep.
right? And then also like talking to each other physically while you guys
Yep.
are there is so
Talking-
different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Trash talking
Like,
each other back and forth.
Dude, planning,
Yeah.
trash talking, like everything, And then I think from there, at the time, Call of Duty was out too.
Mhm.
So that's like when Call of Duty first came out. And I want to say Halo 2 was out by then. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Maybe Halo
I'm
1, Halo
pretty
2.
sure it was.
I think the only way I can be in this conversation would be if I would talk about like Forza.
Yeah, but
Because-
Forza's way newer.
No. Forza's old, and
Yeah,
it was Forza was one of Microsoft's original games.
Okay, what system did it come out first?
Xbox.
That's what I'm saying. Like Xbox took it. Was it online at that time?
I believe the first one
Ye-
became online.
I think what Xbox did back then was take the word Microsoft of a computer concept and then finally incorporate it in a console,
Mm-hmm.
For us.
And they did.
And which they did, yeah,
Okay.
because even in some aspects, it beat the PlayStation 2.
They did.
Guaranteed.
You know?
They did.
Guaranteed.
In like fluidity,
Some could even say that 360 beat the PS3.
yeah.
I mean,
Besides the Ring of Death,
100%. I was just about to say.
because I went through like three
Two-
Xbox
I went through
360,
two of them,
dude.
Yeah.
And thank God I had like the Best Buy warranty, so it was an easier swap.
Yeah.
But like just going through that was like I never want an Xbox.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you never dealt with anything even remotely close to that with the PlayStation.
That's why I had my
all of
PS3
them,
right
from
after.
the PS1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
all of them. For me, I got lucky with the PS3 just because all you guys had the PlayStation 3. I wanted to play with you guys, so I ended up buying the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
But I was always a 360 guy, like the
Yeah.
Xbox guy.
He
was
had
the
he had
first
the
thing.
original Xbox. Man, we had some good times with that Xbox.
I know.
With hockey.
Yeah. Oh man,
Dude.
See, it was
those were some times, man.
those dude. But literally, that's what kind of started off the whole. I would feel like that the multi players that started then revolutionized into exactly the open world type of
That we're at now.
games is
Mhm.
where we're at
Yeah,
now,
for
right?
Mhm.
And I feel like that trigger all started because of Halo.
Yeah.
Halo had a huge part.
Yeah,
in
it had a
multiplayer.
very and but look, hearing what you just said, it just takes me back to going back to like Microsoft and just having computers because like the computer gaming, it's like going back to Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that was
which
the
people are
OG, and they still play
They're
it.
still playing
the
Counter-Strike.
same-
They
yep.
still
Like,
play it.
see that to
And it's
me.
the same aspect. I'm sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off,
it's
but
good.
it's the same thing that you said. It's all consoles or computers
Yeah.
next to each other, and everyone's playing in the same room,
Yeah.
just going against each other.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I feel like then they've created a quality game.
Yeah.
Right.
People
With
are still playing
Counter-Strike,
it?
the longevity of the game, right?
It's been out for a long time.
I mean, it's been out since I was in high school.
Yeah,
That's like
for
back
sure.
in 2006, 2007, right? People were going to Old Orchard Mall
Yeah.
to go into this room that I never knew existed
Yeah,
that
me
went
neither.
downstairs, filled with computers.
I was still never into it, but
I wasn't.
I just knew about it. I was like,
Mhm.
dude,
all I
this
knew
is
was
crazy.
people would say they would go and play Counter Strike,
Yep.
right? And I'm thinking Counter Strike. I haven't heard of this game on PlayStation or anything, right? Let alone now all these guys are playing on their freaking computers or at like a computer arcade place that
Yeah.
I've never even knew about.
Mm.
You know, that's the.
I
Experience.
heard about it, but I had never seen
I've
it.
never seen it.
Yeah.
You never got into PC gaming.
No, not to that extent. Like as soon as I had like a controller in my hand, I
Yeah.
never wanted to go on a
I feel the
keyboard
same
to
way.
like to
I feel
play.
the same way. I would love to get into PC gaming. Just try to get that aspect of it, but I just can't.
I feel like like I've tried it at one of my buddy's places. He's got like one of these $4,000 computers.
For sure.
He's built out, right?
Mhm.
And I'm playing Counter Strike actually,
On a
right?
controller or keyboard?
No, I have like keyboard here and controller, and then the mouse, right? And then I felt like I wanted to keep picking up the mouse
Yeah.
and like trying to position, right? And there's no way I could have memorized
No, it takes time.
like
dude.
like the way you have to move with the keyboard is so unnatural.
I know.
You know, and that's to me. That's why I feel like
It's unnatural to you.
for now.
But like that's a natural piece. Like you have that feeling of holding the
just-
controller. So you're holding the keyboard in your hand.
Correct.
Yeah. So
just
with that
more-
one, it's on a flat surface in a way.
Yeah,
It's
and
so awkward.
It's like the way you think is different too.
See, when I was actually talking to a buddy of mine about my old original laptop that I had. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a Dell back in the day. Probably it was 02. Oh no, I'm sorry, 95, 96ish, somewhere around there. And I found online on eBay, I found the old Logitech trackball that I had at that time, and it was this little gray trackball. I never used the mouse. I always had a trackball. So for the longest, when I would go to school, I never knew how to like this.
Oh.
Mine was always like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
And even when I got I upgraded, if you want to say, I got a mouse that had the trackball that never moved,
No.
and I just moved.
You just oh yeah.
I
you just keep-
I had never used mice.
Yeah,
for
you
like,
just had to just use
Yeah.
the ball. With
I
the
use-
thumb,
I
yeah.
never
use-
liked them.
I
No,
I,
I
I
hate
love
This
them.
is so weird.
I
Yeah,
know.
I love them so much, and
But you gamed like that? On the
I would
PC?
game too. Like I game with that. It was so much easier for me to use that, and when I went to when I would go to school, I'm like, bro, I can't use this.
Yeah.
So look, I would take it with me to school. I would take my mouse with me because it was like this little thing.
Yeah.
I would throw it in my backpack, and when I would go to school, I'd plug it in and I would use it.
Just use it.
Just use it,
Right.
and literally, like I would hold it in my hand, just like this. Like this is how I would use it.
Yeah, because you wouldn't need to.
No,
Yeah, you
and
just-
and the clicker was on here
So it's just
and
easy.
here. So dum dum dum. That's
Yeah.
how I did it.
No way.
Yeah, see, that's something that'd
That's
be
so
completely.
awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, like in that aspect, that's the only reason why I could never get into
PC.
like PC
Yeah.
gaming. See, but from what I've learned, like the customization and the mods
Insane.
that they bring out for PC is insane. Like for let's say just Grand Theft Auto, GTA 5 in general, right? Like
I've seen some of those mods. They're ridiculous.
you've got Avengers
With ray
mods,
tracing.
everything.
you've got all this
Yeah.
stuff, and like
You got licensed vehicles, like an
Yeah.
actual Ferrari
Yeah.
is in the game. You know what I mean?
dude,
Like,
you've got Thanos using his freaking
Yeah.
gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like it's little things like that that probably separates PC significantly.
for sure. No,
You
I
know?
see the aspect of wanting to get a PC.
That's
so
that's
you can get
that's
that
where where it separates from the console.
Right.
That's where it separates.
sure.
The console, it's here's the game.
And you just
You play it like this,
The way it is.
the way it is. That's
Yeah.
it. But when you have a PC,
Yeah.
and like you'll go into like Reddit or whatever the forums, and you find these mods.
yeah.
The mods are insane, man. And I'm not just talking about GTA 5. I'm talking about
Oh yeah.
every kind of game you can think of.
Yeah.
Like Minecraft.
So I never got into Minecraft.
Okay, but you know what it is.
I know exactly what
you
it
know what
is.
Minecraft is. Everyone knows what Minecraft. They have it at 4K, right? They modded it to 4K with ray tracing.
Which is crazy because when you look at the graphics, they're all right.
They're all right. Yeah.
It looks like a cartoony game,
Yeah.
but it's completely
4K
different.
ray tracing
Mm.
in that game. Well, why? Because you can do it.
You can do it.
There's no it's insane because the computer, as long as it can. This is again my opinion, and this is my thought. This is my opinion. This is not fact or anything. But I think that the computer doesn't have a real limitation to resolution, because even when it was in like an 8K TV, like when they would connect different TVs together. Like I've seen when they took 4K TVs and they made one gigantic merged TV and it became an 8K kind of TV.
Mhm.
They did that and the computer played it with no issues. Like it just did it. Like here, this is what you could play it at.
I think that's the cool thing about PCs. You don't have to get a new system or whatever, new
Just
computer.
upgrade your stuff.
Exactly.
You just keep upgrading
Yeah,
your
as long
hardware
as it
and
can
stuff,
keep
yeah.
up with whatever you're trying to process, you're
You'll
good to
be
go.
okay.
And that's what's so cool about it. I mean, that's
That's-
why
yeah.
I would want to jump to a PC.
Yeah. More customization,
Yeah.
more freedom. You can take your games to beyond the next level, if you want to
Yeah.
kind of refresh your game too. But what I would say to kind of switch things up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna name the system,
Okay.
and then you're gonna name the game
Okay.
that stuck out
Okay.
for you the most
Okay.
for that system, right?
All right.
And we'll start off with Super Nintendo, right? And then so I'll start off like, okay. Besides like Mario and stuff for me,
I was just about to say Mario.
on Super Nintendo for me was Batman Returns.
100%.
You know,
Wow.
that game was amazing.
Yes.
You know,
Wow, yes.
it had the Batman experience
Yep.
and everything. Like for me, Batman Returns always sticks out.
100%.
Yeah. What about you,
Mine will always be Mario.
Mario?
It has to be. I mean, it's the most classic game.
The one that you remember, like out of all some of
yeah.
the Super Nintendo
I mean, I
games.
can play it right now and
And
I'll know
still
it's-
be
yeah,
okay.
I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'll demolish it.
All right,
I'm super confident with that game.
Okay, so we got Batman Returns, we got Mario, and then what about for you?
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Which version?
Wow.
The OG.
The original
version,
Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Dude, I haven't played that one in.
We forget
You know
how
what
fun
though?
Donkey
Like
Kong is.
but I'll say my favorite Donkey Kong was not the OG. My first one was the OG to play.
Okay,
was
I already know.
N64.
Yeah, I remember.
N64 Donkey
Donkey
Kong.
Kong
was
64
Was
was the most insane Donkey Kong. I had
I
the
remember,
whole
yep.
I had the whole collector's edition Donkey Kong. I had the see-through green 64,
Okay.
the the
that's right.
expansion pack for it. And it was the see-through green
Yep.
controller.
Yeah.
I had that whole
I
thing
I
set up.
remember that setup.
And dude, it was just so much funny. Not funny. Let me rephrase it. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
that's
so
real.
much
That's
fun.
a good one, man.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've got the Super Nintendos down,
Okay.
right? So let's go up. What do we go to the next one?
Let's do N64.
You want to
N64.
go Super Nintendo N, or do you want to go to Sega?
I mean, yeah, we can go.
We can go to
We
Sega
can do
Genesis.
Sega?
So Sega
Sonic.
Genesis, right?
100%.
Sonic. I'm gonna say Aladdin.
Oh my god.
For me.
Man, I really want to switch and say Aladdin.
For
Aladdin
me.
was such a classic.
me,
It was.
Aladdin.
It was. I think Aladdin was probably one of the games that pushed
Yeah,
the Sega.
Oh yeah,
A
the
lot.
graphics were
Yeah.
like
it
amazing.
was
at
really
that
fun.
time, Yeah.
Really fun game.
Wait,
overall.
but which Sega? OG Sega or Sega Genesis DOS?
I think I played it
No,
on
I think it's the regular.
The
Sega.
16?
the
Yeah.
regular
I
Sega.
think- I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
One thing I never understood on the OG Sega
Yeah.
was that slider. Do you remember the slider that it had?
The reset.
Oh
No,
no!
it was a slide. He
It's
knows
like a
it.
gray slider.
Yeah, it was like a little slider.
Yeah.
What was it for?
I have no
I
idea.
honestly don't even remember.
Did it even use it?
I don't
Was it
remember
for
what
like
it was.
contrast or anything like that?
No, it's for contrast.
They're real
It's not that
artists. It's too white.
I do remember it. I just don't know what
It was just a
for.
random slider.
Well,
Like,
if the game worked, that's all that
Yeah,
matters. I ain't
yeah.
gonna touch nothing.
yeah. I remember that, and I think I
Aladdin.
hit it like once or
Yeah.
twice. Yeah, Aladdin
That's a
was
good
great.
one.
Aladdin hit on that one.
I used
Okay.
to like Looney Tunes.
Oh,
Looney Tunes
yeah,
was
I
a
forgot
big
about
one,
Looney
yeah.
Tunes.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah, Looney Tunes
an
was
awesome
good.
one too.
Looney Tunes. Oh, I don't know. Wait, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Toe Jam and Earl.
Wow, yes.
Which one?
Toe Jam and Earl.
No, I never
Oh,
played that.
That was
shit.
very
That was
very
the shit.
interesting for a game.
Yeah, that was really out of left field.
Wasn't Ren and Stimpy on there too?
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy
Right?
was on there as well.
Yeah, those were really good, man.
Okay, so we got Sega down.
Okay.
Let's go to N64.
And 64 for me will always be Mario 64.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, you already. I figured
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So Donkey Kong, Mario.
Mario 64.
I'm gonna have to say it's one of the wrestling games for me. It's got to be like.
WCW versus NWO.
It's got to be either the WCW.
Yeah.
I think it was wrestling.
WrestleMania
Wrestling-
2000.
The
No,
black
you know what? I'll
cartridge.
take-
was-
WrestleMania
it
2000.
was
That's the
it
one
was
for me.
it was WCW for me. The only reason why was that it had more like going on like with the actual game.
For that one.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It had me and him,
Yeah.
we dominated it. So it was just a lot of fun for us.
64 had the most games that I
Yeah, like
fell in love with. Like NBA Live at that point was
NBA Live
was next level.
Was next level back
And then
then.
you
Yeah,
got
What was
all
the NBA Jam.
NBA Jam
NBA
was out
Jam.
there. Yep.
yeah.
And then like you said, I said Mario 64. You said all the wrestling games were
like
literally
yeah,
all of them were
like
amazing.
it started off with NWO and WCW, right?
Yeah,
did it?
WCW versus
Versus
NWO.
NWO
NWO,
was
yeah.
for me. That started off. But I
Mhm.
feel like the one that really collected everything was WrestleMania.
100%.
Like that had like the most intensity. I liked the WWF wrestlers at the time over
More,
the
yeah.
WCW.
I liked one thing I did like about the WrestleMania game was that the story mode. That
The story was
it
really
was a
good.
really good story on it.
Yeah.
I think it was just more.
But at that time, you were just reading.
Yeah,
Like
it was,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever
You're
the
just
I mean,
reading
character
was
was
what
saying.
would you
Yeah.
expect, bro?
Exactly,
It's-
yeah.
But I think the reason why I picked WCW was more that there was more gameplay. Like when you were wrestling, there was more.
Like
there
the
was
moves
more
and stuff like
moves.
that?
There was more options.
For sure, way better roster. I mean, the
Roster wise was
stacked.
insane. But you know, for me, because we used to have a whole bunch of us play, and like it got super intense. It would get super
yeah.
intense, and like I think it was just the stamina, of
yeah,
your
yeah.
wrestlers. Because
And then you
if
see
you-
it getting bigger
at
and bigger.
one point, if you got hit with a chair,
You're
It's
done.
you
over.
might as well lay there for like
Yeah,
10
it's
minutes.
over.
Your
And
guy,
your butt match like get up, get up, get
you're like
up.
for 5 minutes trying to get this guy to come up, dude. And I felt like that was
Oh,
to be
man.
like that was just memorable,
Mhm.
just due to like how intense like everyone was
It's-
trying to win.
it's intense, and for when me and this guy would play, and when I'm telling you, me and this guy would play,
Oh yeah.
one, it would be for hours at a
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and I don't mean like a lot of people. It's me and this guy, and then whoever would come, somehow we would talk them into versing both of us. One against two. The dumbest fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
So, you remember when we were Dudley Boys?
Yeah, doing 3Ds.
Bro, we would do the three.
Yeah,
like,
it's
if our
so
cousin
cool.
Jacob came by,
Oh,
we
yeah.
would talk him into just playing.
Yup.
Bro, like, out of nowhere. Jacob, you want to play? Oh, yeah. All right, me and Matt are going to be on the one team, and we're going to try some moves on you. Matt, we would decimate him, bro.
Oh my gosh.
It's cool. It's like picking on you like your little brother. You know?
Yeah. And every time, Jacob, this is coming up right now, and you just see a 3D come out.
Oh
Boom.
my god.
Like, insane. And then we would have actual people come
Yeah.
and like go 2-on-2 with
Yeah.
us. Nobody, bro.
Mhm.
Nobody. No one had a
Those were
chance.
fun
with us.
times.
Those
man.
are good.
Yeah, I mean it's things like that where you can go back to your childhood
Yeah.
and just
And
remember
then just remember, right? Like
instantly. Yeah.
Do you remember where it would mess up, where the glitches were? Remember when we would be in like a Hell in a Cell or something, and
There's
then
certain
and then like
areas.
you would get onto the top left one,
Yeah.
and then you would. What would happen is, I think if someone was close to the cage and you went after them, you would get out of the cage,
Right.
and you'd be in the crowd.
oh yeah.
There's no escaping. Really.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no,
you
yeah,
can't-
and then
really
you're
you're
just
not
yeah,
stuck.
supposed to do that.
No,
Yeah.
no, right.
But then it was like you had to go back, and somehow like it would reset or something, and I think it stopped recording.
I heard a click.
Yeah, it stopped recording.
Yeah.
Did it just happen?
I just literally heard like a click and I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, it stopped recording because it records every 30 minutes.
Really?
You don't need to stop it, bro. Yeah, every unless it's hardwired to the computer.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right at the 30-minute mark.
Yeah. Active. Press that. Boom. And
It's not battery.
it's not battery.
No, I'm
right
saying
now.
it's not the battery dying every
No.
time.
It's just on a limiter.
Okay.
It's okay. No worries. One more
Oh
before
yeah.
we start.
Let's do it.
It caught it. That's staying in.
This dry ass fucking.
Bro,
Every time
I'm not
I
ready
went-
for it.
I'm ready to drink some more water.
Yeah, bro, this was disgusting. I'm never getting this fucking flavor again.
It's so crazy because it literally is dry.
It's dry, bro. It's so weird. All right, good. So now, okay, so we've got
So we finished N64.
we got N64 down. We got Sega down in 64. So I think the next thing is just got to be PS1.
Now we're
Or
now
we can go Dreamcast if you have any.
Crazy Taxi.
Besides, I feel like that's literally the only game
Dreamcast.
That
I'm
I-
trying to remember.
that kind of. I mean, for Dreamcast was any of the. It was obviously Crazy Taxi,
That's one of the biggest ones.
and then the Sonic
I was
games
just gonna say the Sonic
got better on those
because
too.
that little adapter in the middle, that little cartridge thing,
Mhm.
that played a role.
Yeah,
That's what made Dreamcast better than
right.
PlayStation and Xbox. It was
Yeah.
something that you've never seen in the controller. Had its own element to the game.
Yeah.
It was so cool and interesting to see, but
It was so limited. I mean, they only had. I don't know why Sega kind of discontinued their Dreamcast brand.
yeah, I have no
That
idea.
was the last of what I've heard from Sega. I don't know if Sega came out with anything after
Yeah,
Dreamcast.
no, because well, they didn't come out with anything was because they Nintendo brought out the Wii.
Right.
They brought the Wii out,
True, yeah.
and then and then they fucked up with the Wii U.
Yeah.
That was total garbage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they brought out the
Switch.
Switch.
And the Switch has been a hit.
The
The
Switch.
Switch has been a hit,
Yeah.
but they've been fucking it up.
Oh, really?
The thing is that bro, they'll just randomly say, "Hey, we're gonna give you this game, right? There's gonna be a limited amount on the store, but you can also get it digital,
Okay.
all right? And then, you know what? We're gonna take it off the store.
Completely.
Yeah.
But if you bought it digitally, you could still play it?
You can still play it,
Okay.
but then it's just like they take shit away like randomly out of nowhere. So it's like I have a Switch. I don't even pay for the thing anymore. The like $20
the
a month.
monthly, whatever.
It's like $20 a year. Like it's $20 whatever, but it's just like I don't want to pay for it. It's because the games on there is still Nintendo.
For sure.
They don't have a hockey game.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I'm waiting for. If they put a
But they
NHL,
got 2K on there, right?
Well,
they got 2K. They don't have NHL. Like
they just added Overwatch. Overwatch 2 is
Dude,
Yeah,
that's a
Overwatch.
perfect game
Yeah.
for it.
Fortnite now is on.
see, it's
Yeah,
fun.
those should be on
should
there.
be on there.
See, the thing is, I don't understand. They got FIFA. They got NBA.
But no NHL.
No NHL.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure
the
it's...
NBA was pretty fun on there.
Yeah.
I have the
Like
one.
all I want to play is NHL. It's my favorite sports game. My favorite, like even more than FIFA, and I love FIFA.
Yeah.
I love FIFA with all my heart, but NHL, it's a drug for me.
Yeah, you like yeah.
I love it. I don't play with any rules.
Yeah. You turn everything off.
I turn everything off, man. Like I don't
Yeah.
care. There's no
No
icing,
off, yeah.
no nothing. And when I go for someone, bro, I go for blood.
Yeah.
Only if you can turn blood on.
Dude, if I like
Wrestling
no
game where you
like
speak
NHL hits.
yeah. No, like when Cedric the Entertainer said it. He goes, man, he's like, if you saw a bro playing hockey, he's like,
Oh, yeah.
you see him skating without a stick. They just want to fight.
Yeah, they just want to
Straight
fight.
up. That's how I want to do it. No joke. When me and him would play hockey, he would score.
You played NHL hits?
Yeah. Oh, that all the time.
That was like
See, that's boring for me though.
See, that to me was fun.
The reason why it's boring to me is because that's the basics of the game.
Debate, yeah.
I like NHL because it's a challenge to hit the dude.
Yeah.
When he would go for, he would score.
Yeah.
I would never score. Matt would have the puck. I would go for a dude on the other side.
He's like my lineman when you're not supposed to have linemen in hockey.
This guy, he would have it, and if someone was coming, I
Clear the way.
I would knock him to the other fucking side of the ice, man. I would knock him. He would score. I would never score. I was his. What do we call those? Enforcers.
Yeah,
I was his
exactly.
enforcer, bro. Even if I was the smallest dude,
Yeah, it don't matter.
we would customize our guys,
Yeah.
and he would always be like the average, bro. I'd be like 7'2". This guy shouldn't be on skates.
Oh,
Like
God.
300 pounds.
There's no limitation. It doesn't matter if you're 350.
Doesn't matter.
250.
Like, and when you saw me
Yeah.
go after someone, you didn't see that dude.
You just go for something.
Like, no joke. Like you didn't see it, and all you see is like a little cockroach fly.
Oh my god.
But those games are fun though, man.
Those games are fun.
Like
though.
you brought up hits, and then there was what was it?
Yeah, the
what
newer
was
one.
the football one?
Blitz,
No, the
No,
there
Blitz,
was yeah,
Blitz.
and the NBA Street,
NBA Street,
all of them.
NFL,
NFL Street.
Soccer,
NFL
that soccer
Street, yeah.
version of Street.
yeah,
The
Yeah,
FIFA Street.
FIFA
Yes,
Street, I
yes,
think.
yes.
Yeah. All the streets.
That wasn't
were,
bad. That was actually a
Streets-
really fun
oh,
game.
No, it was a great concept for
There's
for
street.
sports.
NBA
There's
Street-
street game was
streets in
all
general
good.
were
Yeah.
all
That's
pretty-
the most legendary.
Which one
Yeah.
was the football game with the power bomb?
That's Blitz.
That's
Blitz,
yeah.
yeah.
One of the Blitz came
Blitz
out with
for
so
sure,
many.
yeah.
Yeah.
That-
Like I
That
remember
made that shit
the
famous.
last Blitz I remember. I played at Joey's house, and somebody got tackled, and I remember him getting dragged to the sideline.
Oh yeah.
And they used to take the needle
Inject
and
it.
inject it in your leg.
You see the bone just breaking.
Yeah.
But he's back in the next play.
And then he's back
what?
in the next play. I was like, dude, this is some
It was
crazy
like Mortal
stuff.
Kombat.
Yeah,
when they
basically,
did
yeah, it is.
All right, so like Dreamcast, not so many. I think we're like kind of all on the same page there.
But I just want to say this because I had to bring this up. Do you remember our cousin? I'm gonna just say our cousin. He'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He drafted his NFL player or his college player into the NFL. It was his first game against.
Oh my god! Yeah.
It was his first game.
Yeah.
He brought his dude from the NCAA. He drafted him into Madden.
Remember back in the day when NCAA
Yeah,
had
like
a
you
game?
can-
Oh
you
yeah,
can-
you were you played
So
NCAA.
you play
so
4
you get
years.
to
Yeah.
Madden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You play
So
4
he-
years and then you
so-
import him into
Yeah.
Madden,
Madden,
when
yeah,
it comes
yeah,
out.
So he brings him into Madden. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. This is like his first game.
First game.
First game. Kickoff.
Yeah.
Yep.
He catches the ball.
Yeah.
They're versing the Ravens.
I don't remember who it was,
Yeah, it was
but
the
yeah.
Ravens because it was what's his name that tackled him.
Ray Lewis?
Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis tackles
Oh
him.
my God.
Ray Lewis
I
tackles
remember
him.
That Madden. Yeah.
Yeah. Ray Lewis tackles him.
You're
Career-ending
fumbling.
injury.
Career- I've never seen it ever, bro. And I saw career ending. I'm like, bro, so what do I have to do now?
Is the game over?
Yeah, like, am I done
I
playing?
just drafted.
That was like the shortest career I've ever had to control.
They brought out a car.
I just got drafted
I've never
into
seen
Madden.
it in my life. I was like, dude,
Oh,
am I
this-
restarting
Am I
this?
the only one that this has happened to?
Do I have to play NCAA all over again?
Can you imagine?
Oh
You
my-
worked on this guy for 4
4
years.
years, bro. You're playing, yeah.
You're in the NFL. Like
you're-
this is you. You're in the NFL.
Easy top 6 pick, like when being drafted. Career ending injury. I'm like,
And then first play of the game.
First
The
play.
kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't even snapped the ball yet.
It's all because of Ray Lewis, bro. That guy in that game
Even that game.
was OP
go
as
straight
fuck,
after
dude.
the rookie.
Yeah, he knew it.
Jesus
He
Christ.
knew what he was doing. That game knew. He knew he was eating Matt alive at that point.
No, it was
man.
one of our cousins. It was.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't
yeah,
Matt.
yeah. Oh, not Matt.
Oh, that was
So
hilarious.
That's
that was
a
too
hilarious
funny.
story. I forgot about that story.
All right, so let's go to PS1 now.
PS1.
Now,
I must say, you're saying something, but I must say, PS1 was the most, I want to say, insane design.
when it
Because
first
was
came out.
It was just like a slab.
Yeah,
There was no, like, if you look, it looked like a monument.
it did.
It looked like a monument with like this bomb ass like
Little top
like
raised.
every
yeah.
time it turned open, dun, dun,
Yeah.
And you had the
kinda thing.
two easy buttons
To me, it was always
Yeah.
the controller. It like stuck out. Like it just fit perfectly.
at the yeah.
Everything was like right there. All the buttons are easy to press.
It was all perfect.
Yeah. And now you're taking way more buttons to press. You don't have like 3 buttons to play with, you know?
No,
Or
no, you're
4.
not. Yeah. That's probably. I mean, besides the fact that Dreamcast added more buttons,
Yeah.
N64 obviously
Yeah,
added.
more.
N64 probably had the most unique
And
controller
That-
aspect to
100%.
it.
That was
And-
the most awkward, but it worked.
Like you could go from joystick
Yeah.
to however you wanted,
To
which I
D-pad,
thought was
yeah.
pretty cool.
But I was watching a video on YouTube. Shout out to Austin Evans. I was watching one of his episodes, and he said, or one of his guys, Matt, his name is Matt too.
Nice.
He says,
That's pretty neat.
you needed yeah, it is. You needed 3 hands to use that 64 controller. He goes
yeah.
because it's like, how are you gonna do? He goes, you're gonna hit A, B, and he goes, all right, now I gotta go to directional pad, but I need this.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
He goes, you need 3 hands. He's like, you need to be an octopus or something like that.
That's how Mario Party was.
Mario Party felt
Remember Mario Party?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
We play different games. You use different buttons. One of them is the joystick. You got to spin it around.
Right.
The other ones you
Mhm.
got to press a button as fast
Yeah,
as
yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Those were cool games, man.
So what's the PS1 game that really stuck out for you
Gran
guys?
Turismo.
Yeah. Okay. So Gran Turismo for
Gran
sure.
Turismo. See, all of these to me now are gonna be all car games.
See, for me, it would have probably been SmackDown versus Raw.
No.
Or SmackDown, I'm sorry. It was just SmackDown.
Yeah. When SmackDown came out,
Those were really good games,
Man.
but they were already established in my
Yeah,
eyes.
but
No,
that's where
SmackDown-
graphics.
No,
take
SmackDown
a
first
huge,
came out.
Yeah, they took,
that was their first
it
time.
took a huge jump, and that's when you're like,
Well, when
bro, the graphics
SmackDown,
are insane.
like just to add to SmackDown, when that came out, right? We went from N64 to fluidity
Yeah.
in the PS1. Like the way you saw the fans take pictures, right?
Yeah.
The way like
It's small details.
I was
very
Jeff Hardy all the time.
Yeah.
The way to do the Swanton bomb, right? And the way they had the camera angles
Yeah.
and like the people's elbow, like that to me was
Did
definitely.
we have any favorite like wrestlers?
What do you mean,
Like
Stone
me and
Cold?
you? Like
I mean,
when we played?
I was usually always Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, those
Just
are
the
like
big namers.
Just
you
your
know?
big namers, yeah. Like on the PS1 for me, there's two that really stick out.
I think I know one.
One's gonna be Metal Gear.
I was just about
You
to
know?
say it.
You have to. It's either.
I was
They could
just
be
about
even
to say
three
it.
with Metal Gear and Siphon Filter. I felt like those were two games that like
For sure.
I really played a lot of. Now this next game, I'm pretty sure you guys have never heard of. So there was a game called Jackie Chan the Stuntmaster.
I played.
So I've heard of
played-
it.
I played
I'm
it.
pretty sure I've played it. I just don't
No,
remember.
I played it a million times.
Like okay, yeah. So to
A
me,
million times.
that's one of the greatest. Like it wasn't like a game where it was like it was an adventure game.
Yeah.
But you were Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
right? And you were able to do Jackie Chan stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was able to run onto the wall, do a flip,
Mhm.
and the fighting was so addicting. Like you know how you fought in like
Street Fighter.
in N64, like the wrestling games, right? You can feel
Yeah.
all the punches and
It's the
everything.
same
That's
thing.
kind of like how you felt in this
Mhm.
Jack, and you were able to pick up items and throw them,
I'm
right?
honestly gonna
And, like,
YouTube gameplay.
100%.
after
It's
Dude,
amazing.
No, because I'm
100%.
pretty sure I've played it. I just don't remember it.
I had the game. I
yeah.
loved it.
I loved
that
that
was
game.
amazing.
To me, like I play that game over and
Wow,
over
I
and
can't
over
believe you
again.
remember that.
That Jackie, like to me, if I was able to still play it on the PS5,
Mhm.
I probably would be, but I
For
don't
sure.
think you can. I think it's like too old now. But-
Unless you have a tier.
Unless you have the PS1 in general, yeah.
Yeah.
So the
How
PS,
much is that one? Sorry to
Which
cut you
no,
off.
that's good.
PS1?
No. How much is that tier where you get the PS1 like?
I
to
think it's
play?
100.
a year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
yeah.
Did you pay
It might-
$100?
no, I think it might be more. Right?
120.
I think it's 120. Yeah.
So like
That's
the
$10
premium
a
one?
year.
So Essential is the
So I pay the premium one
Yeah.
because I keep forgetting that it renews. It renews. I keep forgetting it renews, right? So when I look, it's already charged. So I'm like, well, it looks
Oh.
like I got premium.
But do you even play it? Do you use it?
I use a lot of the streaming catalogs
Okay.
when like because sometimes like so
I
like
don't blame them.
you know like what
I
happens
just
is,
love it. I just keep forgetting.
you know I keep forgetting and they get me on the premium and then at that point I'm like, well, I might as well use the shit out of this premium, right? Like
Yeah, might as well.
might as well get everything as much as I can. I've used the catalogs.
Do
I've
you
streamed.
feel like it looks different, like gameplay wise?
No.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, it makes you feel like everything's exactly the same in that aspect. Like even the graphics. Like you'll be able to tell obviously like the drastic change, but like as you're playing it, like everything will come back. You know. So that's the cool thing. I like that part. I like at least on the premium side how much demos and different games you're able to try out.
Yeah.
You know.
Or
which
you get the what is it? The EA access where they
it
give
comes
you
with
10
EA. It comes with also the what's the other one that makes
Ubisoft.
yeah, it comes with the Ubisoft as well. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. That's the part I do like.
That's why I love the Game Pass. Like for me,
for Xbox.
I love the Game Pass for the Xbox, and I also do love that for example, now Willie has my boy Willie plays on the computer. So if he got Forza, we can still play with each other.
I know. Yeah, that's
Like
the
with
cool
the,
thing.
yeah,
about
it's
PC.
I really like that
Yeah,
aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that aspect.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, so I think that wraps up PS1. So during that time, I think when PS1 was out, I want to say Xbox. No. Or was Xbox out when the
No,
PS2 was out?
PS2 came out. Xbox.
And then the
was-
Xbox came out, right?
Yeah, so they were about what a year behind.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Xbox and then PS2.
How about if you put both of them together? And you
Oh
only
yeah, we
pick
can.
one.
Yeah, we can do that.
If you can only
So
pick
let's
one
say-
from Xbox or
Yeah.
PS2.
During that time.
Yeah. So for me, which was so huge, because right when I got the PS2, I got Midnight Run, and that to me was like
Yeah, Midnight Run. Yeah.
I was addicted. to
Midnight
it.
Club.
Or Midnight Club.
Midnight
That's
Club,
right.
yeah.
There you go. Yes.
Midnight
Midnight
Club
Club.
was a
Yes.
very, very good
Midnight
game.
Club
Yeah,
was
Midnight
so
Club.
cool, man.
See, like on the Xbox, besides the Halo, there was an NBA game on there. that came out on Xbox, and I don't think they ever came out with another one. It was
Oh,
called
hold
like NBA Courtside.
Oh yeah, I
Or
remember
something.
Courtside.
Bro, it sounds so
It
familiar.
was it was literally the first Xbox NBA game, and it was its own title. Like it wasn't a 2K brand
Dude, it
or
sounds
live.
so familiar.
It was It was just
I remember Courtside.
it was just called NBA Courtside, and
Dude, I'm trying to remember.
it only stuck out to me just because of how real everything was. Because live has this choppiness.
Did it come out after Live or before Live?
So it came out as one of the first games when Xbox came out.
Okay, so it probably.
So
came out
Live
before.
had to have come out with the
Yeah.
PS1, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So Live has been out, right? But the Xbox like enhanced, the NBA experience with
Yeah.
that game, because like everything looked so crisp. Like you were able to finally see like the lights flashing through the wood of the court,
Yup.
and like everyone granted had the same form or shot,
Mhm.
but like it was the first time where it felt like
It looked real.
well that was at that moment,
Yeah.
right? We'll get to like
Yeah,
the
for
PS3
sure.
later, right? But like at that moment, yeah, that really took part.
Yep.
But like if I was gonna pick between the Xbox or the PS, just due to and obviously there's no online gaming at this time, so friends don't even play a factor,
Yeah.
right? But for me, it had to be PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
like the Xbox was great only for Halo for me. And I know you're indifferent. I know you're the Xbox guy.
I mean, I had both, so I was
Let's
literally
see,
going back
okay.
and forth.
See,
I
yeah,
had both as well for a while. I was a huge PlayStation guy.
Yep.
You remember?
no,
I was a huge PlayStation. Huge.
because I didn't get into Xbox till the 360.
I had the PS1. All right, I had the PlayStation 1. I got the PlayStation 2. I had the PS1, the pocketable one.
Oh yeah.
I had that one as well. And then I got the PS3 and I had the PS4.
Mm.
The only reason why and I'll tell you this, the only reason why for me is I enjoy car games the most, because to me the pushing of the graphics and everything, there's a lot of detail when it comes to car games.
Yeah.
A lot of detail
You see
because
about all these games,
because
man.
yeah, like all these games that you have, like, but the thing is that you have speed, you have like audiences, you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
roads, you have environment, and you're doing 100 miles an hour, and this has to stay perfectly straight.
For sure.
You know, there's a lot going on, let alone the car itself, inside,
Mhm.
outside, the detail of damage, the detail of sound. This is the things that I loved about it. I love car games. I love.
But you
to hear-
notice all that in all types of games. Like Puneet said, like wrestling games.
Yeah.
You start noticing the flashes and all
Mhm.
that. And then it gets to each character as a fan looks completely different. They're not all wearing the same thing. You don't see like 6 of the same signs. It's just
Mhm.
everything changes. Even 2K
Everything.
games, like you've
Yeah.
seen the graphics.
But this is where my transition from PlayStation went to Xbox.
Yes.
This is where my transition went.
That's why
was
you
be-
were.
That's why
this-
you jumped to Xbox.
Yeah, the reason was that in my eyes, Gran Turismo wasn't moving forward.
Mm.
They were
That's why
about
we go with Forza.
three parts in.
Mm-hmm.
They were 3 games in, basically copying pasting the same
For
one.
sure, yeah.
But when I started playing Forza, and I'm looking, I'm looking in the car, I see an actual dude's hand moving,
Shifting, yeah.
shifting. I was seeing an actual like clutch button. Like I felt there was an actual clutch,
Mm.
and you can shift between. There was semi-automatic and there was a full manual mode, and it said, I'm sorry, it was a manual and manual with clutch.
Mm.
So I like
So
So
that,
it
small
pushed it.
that- those
So it
small
pushed it for you,
details.
yeah.
It pushed me to that. But the number one thing that pushed me to Xbox was NASCAR.
Oh, yeah. See,
See, NASCAR was fun
Yeah.
for what
NASCAR
it
was
was.
fun
Yeah,
too, yeah.
NASCAR was a lot of fun, and it was the first game that you actually saw the dude's legs shifting,
Yep.
shifting.
Oh, yeah.
You saw all
You
that
saw the
little
little details
details.
on there,
You
yeah.
saw all that.
and it made it feel more real for you.
It made it amazing. It made
Yeah.
it like you were there. See, when I would go back to Gran Turismo, it's just like I just bumped into the dude, man.
Yeah.
Where's the little crack? Where's something? Damage didn't come until
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
5?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
6?
No,
5
I
or
don't-
6?
I'm sure it had to come within those.
Yeah,
Well,
like
because
5 or
during that
6-ish.
time, yeah.
I think 5. I think it was GT5. But when they got to Forza 2, you know what the damage was? That's when they focused more on the damage. They have all the damage. Now they focused more detail.
Is
Because
that
in
when
part
the tires
1,
would wear out.
in part 1, like I remember when you would shift with the clutch manual, it would you wouldn't feel it like slip, but in the second one you would feel slip.
Oh, okay.
Like there was a little slip.
Small
Like
detail.
the more it messed up, you would feel it slip a little
So
bit.
you get the small details.
Those
essentially
little
on there.
details were just like you were saying, but like with wrestling and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But it's that kind of detail that
That made you want.
made me move away from PlayStation. Is because I like car games, and that's really why I played video games. And it was just like I want to go for something that has detail. And I understand Gran Turismo. The detail is in the sound. Look, man, Forza does the same thing. They use $1,000 or thousands of dollar mics, and they put them right behind an exhaust, just like Gran Turismo does. And they put them in the front to get the engine. They have millions of ways to do this stuff. They scan them. They make the game exactly the same, or not exactly the same. They use the same kind of technologies, in my opinion. And just for them to go one way, and then Microsoft go the other way, we're going to make it realistic and make you get licenses to play the damn game. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Those
Gran Turismo
licenses,
really
that's
never
where-
worked out
those
for them.
licenses were pointless.
Yeah.
That's where we did. Yeah.
Those licenses were pointless, so I can go race. You're making me do... Okay, I understand you're teaching me how to race.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's what it is. It's just circuit racing.
It's yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. But all the other one too was just circuit racing.
But then you got like Need for Speed, which is way more like arcadey, which makes it fun. to
Yeah,
go
but you also
circuit
have
race.
Forza Horizon.
But,
For sure. But Forza took it to a whole nother level with their car. game.
For me,
Yeah.
just because you mentioned Need for Speed,
Yeah.
for me, Need for Speed Underground
Yes.
was the one because
That's
like the only reason I obviously I like car games, but it never provided that speed thrill.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I felt like I was going like 180, 200 or more, right? And then like how sometimes you just feel like you're just going,
Yeah.
but you don't get that sense that you're
Rush.
going that fast,
Yeah.
that rush,
See?
right?
I got that on Forza.
In Forza, which is why I automatically
Yeah.
knew
Yeah.
that was probably one of the
The
reasons.
reason
I
why,
got it.
yeah, and the main thing was like, especially Forza 2,
Yeah.
was that I love the option of swapping your engine.
Right.
So what did I do? My quarter mile annihilator was a Ford Fiesta, a gold one, a gold Ford
Weird ass
Fiesta.
color for-
Yeah, a gold Ford Fiesta. It had I still remember this. It had a Volvo 5-cylinder engine, turbocharged, and it was all-wheel drive. It weighed like a thumbnail, like literally like a nail. Like that's how much it weighed.
Top speed.
Top speed, it was like I think it was about almost 200 something,
Mm-hmm.
and 0 to 60 was like a second or so. Like I would beat Bugattis on the quarter mile in this thing. Like this little Fiesta, like it was as big as this cup, and I would beat Bugattis with that thing.
Oh, snap.
And that was the thing. It was like I can go
You got
and I can go and throw this engine.
Yeah.
This is without Game Shark.
This is without Game Shark. Can you imagine with Game Shark? Can you imagine what I could have done with
Wasn't
Game
that
Shark?
65,000
Hey, guess
horsepower?
but in Gran Turismo, don't forget you can still get your oil change and a car wash.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
and You
God.
gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
see,
$100
that-
now.
see,
It was
that I
10.
didn't know.
It's really nothing, but yeah.
That I didn't
Car
know,
wash?
yeah.
Car wash, 5 coins. It did nothing. All it would do is spin around like, oh, look, it's clean. No,
Yeah.
no, it looked the same. Oil change, the only thing I would give it was that the oil did get darker. through the game.
That's cool.
Like through the races.
That's cool.
I paid attention to that on Gran
very
Turismo.
Small
Yeah,
detail.
it would get dark, and like if you didn't do it for a while, like it was dark.
It was like tar black.
Yeah, and then it's just like I wonder why I'm driving slow.
Oh my gosh.
But then like you would do it, and you're like, oh okay, and then it's just like a, that was it. That was it.
All right, so let's go on to PS2.
God, I love this podcast. Thank you guys. Thank you for
no
coming
problem.
on.
It's a good one.
Yeah, this is always a good one.
So what do you think on the PS2 side?
PS2, I will say for PlayStation 2, it would probably be one of the wrestling games.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot
Yeah,
on that one too.
yeah.
That's where SmackDown really
Yeah,
took
SmackDown.
over.
Yeah, the only reason why I can't choose was because me and this guy would go to Blockbuster,
Yeah.
and we
Remember
would
those
just
days?
Dude,
bro,
I mean, we
Blockbuster.
can talk about Blockbuster a little bit, man, because
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's an experience that nobody that grew up during that age can relate to, right? Like I at one point, I remember going to Blockbuster every day for a weekend, just so I can see if somebody returned
The game
this
that
game
you wanted,
that
or the
I
movie
wanted,
that you wanted,
or the
yeah.
movie, right? And then you go there, and finally that would be
Can you
there.
imagine the
Yeah.
workers there?
Oh, no,
This
this
guy.
guy. Yeah.
This guy's it's not here, buddy. Just don't even
No
walk
better
in the
feeling,
store.
right? When you go and you see the game right behind you, like, oh,
the
thank
smell
God
of the
they got it.
Blockbuster,
Yep.
right? They all smell the same, right?
Yeah,
the way
plastic.
the way the store was set up, like just walking through the aisles,
Not
right?
knowing
Yeah.
what
And,
you're gonna
you know,
see.
it's actually the same concept of Netflix, right? Because you're just sitting there and
Scrolling,
browsing
yeah.
titles, right? But instead, I was physically out and about, going
Walking,
into the
yeah.
store,
Yeah.
and I'm walking through the aisles, right? I'm reading the back of the cover sometimes,
Yeah.
right? To see if I even like this movie, or even if I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, you know, you buy your popcorns or whatever else they would sell you. Like, I remember at Blockbuster, I got Space Jam, right?
The movie.
And it was like, it was like an early release, right? So we got to Blockbuster, they have like this huge party, and they handed me my Space Jam tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was a big ass box,
Yeah.
right? It's like as big as a cereal box, you know. That's how big
I
this thing was.
remember, yeah.
You'd open it up and everything, and like that was the whole experience, right?
Mhm.
Of going to Blockbuster, and like it's completely gone now, right? You don't get to talk to
At
people
all, yeah,
about
no.
games. You can't talk to them about how they felt about.
And it's not about them either having it. You know they have it. You can
Yeah.
get it 100%.
It's
And it's like if you think about it, like if you take the movie aspect out of the way from Blockbuster, it's pretty much GameStop.
yeah,
Yeah, without the renting.
Renting.
without the renting
aspect,
aspect.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the same
So you're doing the
concept.
exact same thing. If like you go to GameStop, like you're just gonna browse through some of the games,
Yep.
right? Sometimes you haven't even heard of a game that was out. Like I didn't know there was I just saw your Deadpool. There was a Deadpool game
Mhm.
out, and I think it was on the PS3, or PS4 that I never knew a Deadpool game existed, right?
Yeah, there was I have it on Xbox actually.
Yeah.
Deadpool,
There's a really fun like
Yeah.
he's got some good like lines throughout the game.
It would be the game if it was based on his movie.
Yeah.
Pretty
Main
much
one.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they made this game before Ryan Reynolds made that
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
It would be pretty much
That was a fun.
So you end up
Deadpool
buying
game.
that Deadpool game?
Oh yeah, that
I
Deadpool
have
game.
it. Actually, I have it on my account.
dope.
You do that Deadpool game?
It's
Yeah.
on
So
my
fun.
account.
It's cool, like not knowing if you're gonna like a game and you just take the risk.
Well, that was the
play
thing
it.
about renting it back
Exactly.
then, right? At
'Cause
least
if the game you wanted wasn't there, now you're like, well, I don't want to go home without a game.
without a game,
So I'm gonna
so,
rent.
So it gave you a
something. Yep.
chance to like pay what was it, $6?
I think
don't
it was
even
like
know how it
$6, and then they charge you an extra $5
You
if
pay-
you're late. But then you got to keep it for like another.
You got to pay
Couple
the
days.
couple of days, whatever, right? Paid $6 for a game for I think it was 5 days. I want to say it was
It was.
$6
I
for
think it was
5
5
days,
days, yeah.
right? So you had it for 5 days. You got a chance to try it out, right? If you didn't like it, you obviously came back. You switched it off, right? But then it gave you opportunities
Mhm.
to try out these different games
Yeah.
right off the bat.
Did you have a card with your name on it, or was your parents' name on
On my own.
No, I had originally my parents' name,
it? Yeah.
and
Me
then
too.
as
Yeah.
I went to, because when I went to Gemini, Blockbuster was still there, so that's when I got my own card then. Because I just used to just go to Blockbuster and just go
My,
straight.
my mom gave me her card. She's like, go inside, get whatever you want. She gave me cash, whatever. The person looks like, you don't look like Cardelia. I'm like, she's outside.
Yeah.
And then he just he's looking through the window. My mom's going.
Yeah, it's okay.
I approve it.
I approve it. So like I think on the PS2 also, there was another game that just slipped my mind. I know we were talking. Oh yeah, it's gotta be the Streets, like the NBA Street,
NBA Street,
NBA
yeah.
Street,
Street
NBA
games, yeah.
I
NBA
think
Street and NFL Street.
like if I'm just talking just NBA right now, NBA Street Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. The best one was Volume, I think 2.
I think 2.
For me was Volume 2.
2 was 100.
You
Because
know?
that's where they had Jordan.
That's when they had Jordan.
Yes.
They had 2 variations of the Game Breaker,
Yes.
right? So you had the normal Game Breaker, which was from Street 1.
Yes.
And then
they
they
had the new
correlated
one.
their new Game Breaker 2, right?
Yep.
So now not only did you work for a Game Breaker 1, but then you can
But the
get a Game Breaker 2,
I remember that.
right?
I
That was the
remember
bigger
that.
one.
And then for me, the Volume 3 killed it because they took
See, I
that
don't even
Game.
remember 3.
Listen, Volume 3, when you did a Game Breaker 2, you might as well lay down for 5 minutes. They kept going. The animation
Oh, yeah, that's right. It
kept
was
going
long,
so
yeah.
long.
Like
And it's
NBA
replay,
jams.
replay,
You're like, what kind of
different
freaking game breakers?
Like
is there?
NBA Jam when it would flip over out of the screen. You remember that?
NBA Jam was different though. Look, NBA Jam,
That was such a simple
you started
concept.
having like big-headed fucking
Yeah,
fingers
yeah,
going
yeah.
on
Once that
and all that
happened,
stuff.
those were some stupid cheats.
I know, but at the time you were like,
Like
this
the
is cool.
baby ones. Do you remember that one when they
Oh,
were
yeah,
really
yeah, it's
small?
small.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Jam was made for you to play at the arcade.
It was
Arcade.
exactly, yes.
It was
Yeah.
not
an
really
arcade game
Yeah.
like
specific.
it's a fun game, like console-wise, right? But specifically,
It was.
It
you
was
had
arcade
to be
game.
standing and playing
Joystick.
it.
Okay, so then let's talk about arcades because those are back
Okay.
in the day. Like
Yeah.
they still have them,
Yeah.
but they're
They're,
honestly they're all emulators.
they're like hidden gems now.
Yeah.
It's
If
so
you
rare.
if you can find one, like I think there's 3 in downtown that I know of
Mhm.
that have obviously they have their bars and everything,
Yeah.
but they have full blown arcades
Yep.
that you
What
can
was
play
that
for
place we
free.
went to?
Barcade?
Yeah, Barcade.
Or
Where's
beer,
Barcade?
Beercade? Or
No.
Barcade?
Beercade. I think it was
Beer
Beercade.
Cade,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Beercade.
Headquarters, Beer
Headquarters,
Cade.
yep.
Yeah, I went there actually
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah, they have them
That's dope.
That's
man.
a nice place to
such
go
a cool
to.
concept for gaming, man.
Mm-hmm.
there. Well, once again, it brought people together,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Like gaming was always meant like to bring people together, right? And it still does in its own way now, right? But
But like
that-
to be next to someone.
But see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like the kids nowadays growing up, they'll
I have
only
no
get
idea.
more of a social media aspect, right? They'll get a video sense of people.
It's like
They'll
South
get the
Park.
sound right, but they'll never physically
Take
like.
a quarter, put it on there like I got next.
They're never gonna have to take $1, break their quarter,
Yeah.
get 4 quarters out,
Yeah.
and then go to your machine, put a quarter in, and pray to God that this 1 quarter.
That
will
works.
help
You don't
beat-
get your quarter back.
Yeah.
And you're like,
So you're out there. So like for me, because I went to Golf Mills Arcade. That was my arcade, right? Which was I forgot.
oh man.
Yeah.
I learned
I
about
used to
that
go there.
secretly, just walking around, and then I see this thing
There,
in the
this
corner.
arcade in the
I'm
corner.
like, bro, I've never known about this.
Yeah.
It's been here for God knows how long.
I used to go there a lot.
I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Number
right,
one.
number one, like
And
has
then-
to.
Hands
You know,
hands
Me,
down.
The Simpsons.
The
Did it-
Simpsons one, yeah,
Wait,
was top
wait.
2.
yeah, yeah. Those two.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Let's redo that because I just did a Kanye West right now. I don't want to be showing that shit.
What was it?
I just did KKK kind of thing. Yeah, so let's just reset that.
Cutscene.
Cut it. I literally just went like this right now. That's why. So it was just gonna stop.
Good catch.
This is
Good
not the
catch.
right.
I was literally stretching my
Don't
hand.
you
on
dare!
my-
Don't you dare release this.
No.
You're gonna get our Apple Pays cut off too.
Oh
bro.
my God.
Like Kanye West and shit.
That's a good
Yeah,
catch.
bro. Yeah, Kanye West, bro. We can't be doing that shit.
But yeah, like those 2 games on the arcade side.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, and also The Simpsons. Remember The Simpsons?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a lot
I like. I
of
mean,
fun.
pinball machines were awesome.
Pinball was
you know?
great, man.
You know,
it was
like-
a lot of
like
fun.
like we used to like. I mean, it's such a simple game, right? All you're doing is flicking 2 freaking
That's
paddles,
it,
right?
yeah.
But yet you were there almost all day. You can go there after school and chill at the pinball machine
And
for
just trying
20,
to
30
beat the high
minutes,
score.
and you'd be having a blast,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's what it was like. We had simpler games,
Mhm.
right? We had actually a physical interaction,
Mhm.
right? Also, communication wise, we're not awkward, you know, because we're used to being around
For
people.
sure, yeah.
You know, there's right now there's a little bit of awkwardness kind of that goes with the younger generation just because they're so used to
being alone and talking just through
you know,
a mic.
through a mic, right?
And that's
like
if you're even playing a multiplayer game. You know what I mean?
and like and granted, like I'm working at home now, but this could also mean that the future can only be at home jobs.
Yeah.
So now you're telling this younger generation that not only are they going to be going through school through their technology, because there's no physical books anymore either, right? Even teachers might not even show up in class, right? What if you just have a teacher show up on like your iPad, right, or something,
Just randomly, yeah.
you know? So like everything,
Pre-recorded.
so it's almost like our interaction is like almost going away, right? Like going from like the 80s to the 90s, right? We had to almost rely on one another, right? Because there wasn't news. We had to talk to each other to figure out the news. Or we're reading newspapers, right?
Yep.
We're going out. We're going to the nearest store to grab a newspaper, right? Just so we know what's going on, right? And like I always tell people like I can't play games for like a couple hours at best, right? Because I'm triggered where I have to like either move around and do something, right? But I have to be physical. I have to hang out with somebody, you know. And like when we were also growing up, I used to go to my friend's house. And we didn't just sit down and play on our phones, right? We literally sat down and did nothing.
Yeah.
You would just sit down.
Just chill.
One person would be on the computer, right? And you'd be there either staring at the wall or something or thinking, right? And you'd be thinking of stupid ideas, just splurging them out because you're just talking to your buddy, right? And then you're like, hey, let's go shoot around outside. Let's go take a walk, go to the park, right? But see, that whole aspect is gone.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as much as people say, like, you know, when times change, like now, because we're older, we literally can see. Like now, I'm part of an age where like actual human interaction is awkward now.
And you're seeing it get to the future where you're seeing what VR is doing, and you're like, dude, like,
and
they're
that
gonna take it to a whole nother level.
And that implements the way we've been gaming according to our lifestyle.
Yeah. But you said working or going to school. Like I could see game like VRs being like
VR could be a huge thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like companies on the VR world, right?
Metaverse.
Like
exactly
in the metaverse, like why did Finish Line purchase like thousands and millions of dollars, right, in metaverse property, which is digital property that's not even real, right? But the reason why is because in the future, that's what it's going to be. Like, I'm going to be able to wear my metaverse glasses.
Yep.
I'm going to be able to walk into this Finish Line, actually be able to see the shoe on my feet.
And buy it.
Right? And then when I buy it, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of Android delivery system or something where there's no actual person that can get in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Right? So by the time I get to my door within 10 minutes,
right
my
there.
shoes are already there. Like, I can see that happening without, like, a shadow of a doubt. You know? And that's just due to the investments, you know? Because when we were also in high school, we never thought Facebook was going to be what Facebook is, right? If I knew anything about investments when I was like a senior, because in 2007 is when Facebook got introduced. It was right before I entered college, right? And the only reason Facebook got created was, once again, human interaction to bring us college students together to know that we knew who exactly to go to.
Yeah, or you
how
know
to
this
connect.
person, I know this person.
I know this person.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're in the same class.
Yeah.
We're in Facebook. It was made for a college thing. Now Facebook is like the lead of everything. You can shop on Facebook.
Crazy.
You're putting your advertisements on Facebook, right? It is taking this one small concept of what was human interaction to now just a digital.
They have their own gaming channel.
Gaming
where
channel.
You can actually play and people watch you instead of going on Twitch or
Right.
whatever, you know?
Like
it's so crazy.
the
where it's
amount of
gone.
steps, you know, of
Yeah,
like
it's insane.
and once again it correlates to the way like times are changing according to like how we're gaming too, right? And like just to kind of jump into the gaming aspect again, like when the PS3 came out, I need to add this, that was a beautiful console.
That was my favorite console.
That was the most
at
glossiest,
that time, man.
shiniest, and I don't care about small. I'm not gonna lie. For a console, I want that
It was
bad boy
massive.
to be big. And
It
to
was
me, I
massive.
enjoy the fact that this was a nice big console. It looked beautiful, right? I want to say PS3 was the longest PlayStation
Was
before
that
the fourth came out.
I think you're correct.
I
think
would
it was
like to
over
say
8
so.
years.
Because I think that because PS4 was.
It was shorter. I think it was
I
7.
feel it was like 7,
And
right? Yeah.
I'm gonna say this though, PS2 design was probably my favorite
The design was obvious. Yeah, it was
because it
clean.
reminded me of the Sears Tower. When
I
it
can
was
see
up.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
When you
okay.
stand
When it was up.
Yeah,
When it was standing up, it reminded me of the same style.
No, that would make sense.
That was a really cool one.
But then also, like, for me on the PS3, when I played my first 2K game, like, that was a mind-blowing experience.
Yeah.
Like, me playing that version of 2K, because for the first time, I saw the sculpture, right? Like, of the fucking
actual player.
I saw the sweat, right?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't even that. And then when you took a jump shot,
And
right?
it's
For the
his jump
first
shot.
time, you were able to feel
Yeah.
like the person's jump shots.
Not only that, you had small details like tattoos.
Dude, that
Like little marks, or like Rasheed Wallace had the little patch
oh my
on his
yeah,
head.
everything.
You had that in the game. You're like, dude, this is so crazy.
See, that's when 2K was good because they didn't worry about
Exactly.
the online and my player
Yeah.
and all this stuff, right? They just focused on NBA players
Making it real.
making it
They
real.
messed it. You're talking. To hold you on that, but they really messed up when they had. Remember that? Were they the one with the feature where you had to play all the time?
So that was 2K, the original 2K when it first came out.
That was so stupid.
Yes. So you
That
would
was
create a guy,
so
you would play with him,
stupid.
but you would actually have to use him every day, or his
Oh.
overall goes down.
Oh,
like
yeah,
he's not,
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's not practicing.
No, yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
hated that for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so stupid. This
But
is just.
But that was
the
when, like,
original.
but also
Yeah.
2K when it first came out did not compete against Live. Live was better.
Live was the
than-
best
than
at
2K.
that time. Yeah.
And then 2K made a drastic change as soon as
They
the
removed
PS3
that
came
feature.
out.
Correct, yes.
Yeah,
That-
when
they-
they removed that.
They
feature.
removed
took
that
it.
feature.
No,
Yeah.
but when the PS3 came out, that's when people started taking notice because then Live was a step behind.
And
at
it
that
remained
point.
that way.
It remained that way. Even though I want to say I had really fun with the last Live because it still had that childhood feel to it.
Yeah.
But the thing was, like, the fluidity of 2K was
You've
is
already
so,
felt the top.
it's like you didn't even want to
you already
bother.
knew.
Mm-mm. But for me, that PS3 2K was beyond, like, to me, I thought that was a great jump. Like, from where they were at to that moment. Like, I think that was the year when Steve Nash, Stoudemire, and everyone was on that team.
With
And the Phoenix Sun was just hot. I remember playing with Steve Nash and, like, actually feeling their forms and everything.
Yeah.
So, like, for the PS3, for me, that's when, like, 2K really, like, made their jump.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
even though Allen Iverson was on the cover before, and they definitely had their moments and was popular, but, like, the way 2K came out that year,
It was unstoppable at that. That's
to-
when they took over.
that's when they took over.
Yeah.
That to me, that's when the PS3 really, when 2K on the PS3 really made the jump.
That's
That-
when I kept saying, like, man, I don't see the graphics ever getting better than this.
Than
And then
this.
PS4 came out.
Yeah,
And then the graphics were way better. And you're like, dude, there's no way.
there's no
they're
way.
gonna
Look at it
And
now.
then the Pro
Yeah.
came
And
out.
now, I mean, we've learned our lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, you see where it's at now. You already know where it's going to go.
Well, so the thing is, 2K kind of went through like a climax phase, and unfortunately, I feel like it's like not at the downwards, but it's not.
It's like steady almost.
It's like just steady now. It's like they're just. It's almost. I wouldn't say they're copy and pasting the game,
They're
you know,
coasting.
it's close.
but they're
It's
coasting because
close,
there's no
yeah.
competition. You know, at least Live kind of gave them a little bit of a push back then, and like unfortunately, Live is now only like a mobile game from what I hear. But there's no competition. You know, so that's why I feel like 2K is able to do things
Just to do it.
just to do them,
Yeah.
and then
Because you know the consumer's going to buy it.
they're gonna buy them. And even though we
100%.
get the mad or whatever, they're not gonna care because there's no other NBA
Mhm.
game,
Yep.
right? And we're gonna invest and do all these things, but you know that's where I feel like 2K is kind of taking advantage, but no one's kind of giving their run
And
for their
it'll
money
never change unless there is competition.
unless EA somehow makes Live again.
not
But
gonna
like they would have to because the EA engine is all similar. Like even when I play Madden, right? It doesn't feel like a 2K, even though Madden's gotten better and better
For
throughout
sure.
the times. But like if you just compare it to the way 2K is designed,
It's
right?
next level. 2K is
like
totally
yeah,
next
EA's to 2K's, like detailing, design, like whatever you want to say, is completely. Now, like if I want to say presentation, like in terms of like cutscenes and stuff, Live was better on the cutscenes.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
they had like moments where the players would interact with the fans,
Yeah.
and then you know.
So they had the movie magic.
So
But
they
you know
had
what's
the,
funny?
yeah. They
You
did.
bring that aspect. Live was different in that aspect compared to 2K.
That's where it
But
was.
that's where 2K football was different than Madden. 'Cause
Yeah.
2K football actually had the best broadcast and actual.
Is it again?
I think it's done.
It might be 'cause it's
Actual
30
2K.
minutes. Dude, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
That
2K football, and do you remember the price on that
Dude.
game? It was $20.
It was so much better than Madden.
Bro, by far, they were the first ones to actually have the helmet,
Yes.
where you're inside the helmet playing
Yeah.
football.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember they were inside the helmet.
2K was,
But
2K football was.
But the
man, I
feel of
miss it.
2K football was amazing.
Yes, man. 2K5, I think, was the last one.
That's where they,
You get some?
that's where I think they had just. Another dry ass. Well, we need a dry ass hit with this.
He feels
I can
it
feel
already.
It's like I'm not even supposed to be like have super dry mouth. It's because of the stupid tank.
Wait for it.
Bro, why?
It's so weird.
It gives you
It's
cotton
very
mouth
weird.
already.
Yeah, it's instant cotton mouth. Oh wait, let me turn it on. Oh shit! Oh. Battery. I'm glad switch out the battery.
Man, you know what else was a good game? That I think it was called MVP Baseball.
MVP baseball was
Yeah,
amazing.
with Manny Ramirez on the cover.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was a PS2 game.
I think there was one with the Cardinals player on the cover at one point.
I just remember the Manny Ramirez.
I think it was, I don't know if it was Pujols.
Oh, it could have been. I think you're right. Yeah.
There was one that I played a lot that had one of the Cardinals guys on the cover. But I think MVP baseball in general was so
At
fun.
that time was the best baseball game.
Yeah, you know, my favorite thing for baseball was home run derby.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. I love that one. Telling you the truth, for me, I want to say basketball was most boring for me.
Sport game?
Sport game.
Yeah.
And though, like for me, soccer was a lot of fun because there was so many different combinations of the right trigger or the right stick you can use to do different moves.
Yep.
So for me, it was if you could do crossovers and everything with basketball, but it was just I felt very contained in that, like
It's smaller.
it's a small area. With soccer, it's like huge.
Yeah.
Even in football, because I guess it's just open more. So like I love the football games.
Football was the camera angle.
Yeah.
Made it so big. 'Cause you're playing vertical. It changes compared
And
to
then hockey, hockey.
Of course.
Hockey was a good one.
Hockey
yeah.
was always fun. The hockey I had a lot of fun with was because it just got better, and the thing I like a lot now about the hockey games is the detail in the hits.
Sure.
Because so now, like in the hits itself, when you do a hip check, you do a hip check.
Yeah.
Like you see that dude like flip.
Yeah.
Flip
Like,
around.
yeah,
When you
those
hit
are-
them in the corner
Yeah.
where your teammates are sitting, they would fall into there.
Yeah, they would fall
That
in
was
there,
cool.
or like if you actually shattered one of
The
the
glass, yeah.
panels.
Yeah,
Like, it would break.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot, or
I miss those.
it was a
I forgot
lot of
about
different things, man. I like the hockey games a lot. They did them really good. Hockey games, they did really well. The baseball games, I think is probably the easiest
Concept?
easiest one to make detailed. It's because a lot of it is just them standing around. Majority of it is the fans in the background
For
moving
sure.
around.
For
and,
sure.
You know? So I think that's why like they have more detail where it's just like a still image in a way.
Yeah. Just playing in the background.
But if you have like all the other ones, you have let's say for example F1 racing. F1 racing is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So like if you have that, you have you have uh when I played it and you're inside the car and it's like raining, you can see the fucking rain
yeah.
just like
That's true.
behind.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool looking. Like it's that it's I think for me it's that like being like you guys are saying being in that game. So like I understand the basketball portion is I loved when you would go for a shot and when they had the pressure.
Yeah.
Like so when you let go, they let go.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like hitting B and they just shoot
For
it.
sure.
Shot
Yeah.
it, right,
You know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right.
And
Like-
now they added like the haptic feedback with
Yeah.
the triggers. So if you're backing down a player, you feel that.
You feel that little
pressure.
push on it, yeah.
Or if you're out of like you're fatigued, when you hold the turbo button, like there's
Yeah.
a little force.
There's a little
where you
force,
can't
yeah, it
use
kind of
you know?
restricts it a little bit.
Those are
Kinda-
sick elements
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a game, especially a sport game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's you start feeling the stamina. You know, you
Yep.
start feeling. Sometimes even when you cross over, like if you cross over like too fast with a player that's not good with handles, like you'll vibrate a little
Yeah.
bit knowing that he like dropped the ball out of his
Mhm.
hand. So, yeah, the little details that they've added to the game definitely.
Details and especially going we're going into PS4 now.
Yeah,
So,
PS4 now. Yeah.
Going into PS4, going into what do we have now? Xbox.
It's
We
Xbox
can compare it to the 360 at the time, right?
Was it?
With the PS4 and the 360, no?
No. That's 360 was PS3.
Yeah.
Oh, so PS4 would be then the
Xbox
The
Series. No, not the Series.
Series,
Xbox One.
One. Yeah.
One.
Xbox One.
The One.
Yes.
So the Xbox One, which I think would be their biggest console
As in like size.
size wise.
Yeah,
There
for
was
sure.
it was gigantic,
Gigantic.
gigantic.
It almost kind of felt like the
The
original
first
Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox with the
Yeah.
big X. Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say they pushed the limits when it came to the One,
Yeah.
and especially when they came out with the One, the One X.
Yes.
It was like the halfway
It's like you know how PS4 came out
with
with
the PS Pro, like PS4
it's,
Pro.
It's like their
Yeah.
little like bigger step in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
console.
yeah.
It's
They're like
an
next
expansion,
level,
Yeah.
Like the Pro came out, it was like slimmer.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
so
stuff, yeah.
so when they brought that out, it was just like
And it handled 4K.
yeah,
Mhm.
No, that was the big step.
that was a
big
huge
step, okay.
step. That was a huge step. So I saw again. I see the main things I see when it comes to Forza. It's because when I compare all the different generations of the consoles, I compare it to that because one, that's the most I remember,
For sure.
Mhm.
and two is that everything has the same kind of movements, but it's more detail.
Yeah.
So if the wind's blowing,
Yeah,
you saw that
branches.
leaf blowing
Yeah,
before,
for sure.
but now you see each individual
Yeah.
leaf itself,
For
like
sure,
little
yeah.
petal. You know, you'll see that
Mhm.
each one is individually flopping in the wind, but at its own different direction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those little things, those like things that that I saw, and especially I saw it in the PlayStation. That's when they Gran Turismo brought out Damage.
Yeah.
Was for PS4. I mean,
It's
if you
kinda
want to
late
call
for it, but
if you want to call it damage, there was that was the damage.
That was the damage.
That was the damage.
What was the damage?
Like
Yeah,
that was the
like a
damage. Like you
small
felt that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was the max that you got.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like if you looked at the car, it would get a dent.
hmm
That dent was the damage that you got.
That was
100%.
Okay.
100%. So now comparing that, again, I'm comparing the car portion. You guys can compare all
Yeah.
the sports.
For sure.
So now taking that, and also no Gran Turismo game has clutch.
What do you mean?
Clutch. Like an actual clutch button. No Gran Turismo game has one.
No.
No.
Not GT3. None of
Nope.
them.
None.
And that was I think R1 L1 right?
Those are shifting. That's shifting.
Oh, you're talking about actual
Clutch.
Get
No clutch.
out of here.
Gran Turismo has never had a clutch button.
Did Forza?
Forza had in the first one.
So I've never played a game with a clutch.
See,
Yeah.
I've never had
That's
that
why I
yet.
never.
That's why when I say it to
Wow.
PlayStation
Okay.
players, like they ask me how's the clutch. I'm like, well, it's you hit the clutch, you'll let go of the gas, hit the clutch, shift, let go of the
That's
clutch,
pretty dope.
and hit the gas again. So when I say they're like, hey, like I'm like, but that's how you shift with a manual.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand. When you guys are doing it, you're just hitting O or square.
For sure.
You're just hitting this or this. Like you're just shifting. There's no actual movement for you guys to let go. Because if I don't let go and I hit the clutch, or if I don't hit the clutch and I just shift, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel it.
Yeah, you feel it.
Really?
You'll see the damage. So those are the things. Those are the things that I pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that the clutch. When I saw the clutch in the game of the first Forza, that's when I fell in love with that game. Was because I had never seen an actual clutch on
in
the
an
game.
actual game.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Because-
just smaller details. You're seeing it as you're getting like.
That's
older.
what that was-
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
if you think about it now,
Mm-hmm.
now if I play that game and I have a steering wheel, I can actually have a clutch.
Right.
And it'll function like I'm working it on my controller.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are the little details.
Those are
Did you
Those
ever
are
have a
the
steering
little
wheel?
details.
I've never owned one.
No?
I had
I've
one.
always-
I have one and it was cool.
I've played obviously in the arcades, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
but I've never like owned one at the house.
it's cool.
Dude, there's some insane ones that I've seen.
Oh yeah, that setup with the TV right in front.
Like I saw one that had 3 screens,
Yep.
and he had a full setup. It looked like an F1 racer.
Wow.
He had a 6-speed. He had the gas and they came with different springs for different
Wow.
tensions.
No
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
insane,
Yeah.
insane.
I would say that's pretty cool. If I had one of those at my house, I'd probably want to throw a setup like that too, man. Like have something where you have like your own clutch system.
We didn't have that back then. You put it on a table.
That's it.
You're hoping that table is a perfect like height for you. And that was
If
it.
not, get some books.
Yeah,
Get some
man.
books, yeah.
You needed some books to hold the gas and the brake
Yeah,
pedals.
that's true.
Just move freely.
No,
I miss those.
I enjoyed. I always will love Gran Turismo because that was the first game that I played. That was like a realistic car game. I enjoy the Need for Speeds. I enjoy the Midnight Runs. I love
Yeah.
all of those different games.
Burnout.
But Burnout. I love those games to have fun,
Yeah.
not care.
No, yeah,
like
yeah.
like even Forza Horizon. I just play that game just because it's an open
It's
world.
just open world, yeah.
It's fun.
That's what people want
Yeah,
in
an
a
open
driving
world.
game. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't want circuit racing where you're restricted and
They want to have that open world, that
Exactly.
Yeah.
freedom, right?
That's why Gran Turismo, in my mind, will never be open world.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It'll
it
never
can't- it
be.
can't. It's not in there. Like
See, but the thing is, it can be. The only way.
I don't see it, man.
They can make an open world, but they need to do it like Dubai made this like stadiums when they were building their country.
okay,
You put them all around, right? You put all the different racetracks around one world, and you do it like what do you call that? When they drive really fast and they're going from
speed run.
like a speed run. But what do they call that one that they had on YouTube? All the rich people would drive their Ferraris and stuff. Gumball.
Oh yeah.
Like do a gumball
yeah,
thing
for
it.
sure.
Like a gumball kind of thing where you can
you're
drive.
racing to the next track.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do something.
I mean, they could. I don't know. It's just.
No, you'll
I
need
feel like it's not
licenses
in
for
the-
that too.
Yeah.
You'll need a license for that too,
Sure.
probably. Do they still have licenses? I'm pretty sure. They
I don't know. The new one came out. It looks great. I just can't buy it. Like I would never buy it.
Mm-mm.
But it looks awesome. The graphics are insane.
I heard
I can imagine
I heard all the prices are going up. Like they're gonna be $70 now.
Well, they have been.
The
I
games.
mean, the PS5
All
games
PS5
in general,
games are 70.
Xbox games also. Yeah,
Oh, they have been?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Even
I'm
in
just
digital,
late to the party.
Yeah.
I have that. I don't know what prices
Even
are
in
anymore.
digital format,
Yeah.
dude, you would
Uh,
think it'd go cheaper.
No, they won't because they still got discs.
That's
They're
what
not
I'm saying.
making no money on discs, so they have to
They
charge
have
for
to
that.
charge more on the
They
digital.
have to.
But they can't get rid of the discs either.
They can get. They will. They won't
Eventually.
get rid
I
of
can
it.
see
Even in the next
I can
5
see-
years.
Yeah.
The next generation.
Yeah, the next generation is gonna force
It's gonna.
Us
It's gonna make you
have to go digital.
Yeah.
So what happens with backward compatible games? Like if you owned a game, it's gone. You can't use it.
You're done.
At that point,
I think you lose people with that.
I think
Not a lot, but
No,
I think you
no.
lose people. With
Unless-
No, you're just gonna save your old shit. You're not gonna trade it in.
no, unless
for sure, yeah.
unless Sony figure out a way where they have a massive vault, right?
Like Xbox does.
Like a massive vault that you'll be able
Like
to,
Xbox does because they
You
already
have
have.
to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you have to pay for it, that
unless
kind
it's
of
already a part of your
subscription.
your
Yeah,
membership
for sure.
You know,
Game Pass.
yeah, like your Game
Yeah.
Pass, yeah.
See, that's what they did from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what Microsoft did. Microsoft went and threw servers all around the world, and they created this.
Yeah.
They created their servers and their Game Pass. They did it the smart way of doing it. It's like what, $30 a month or something?
I don't
20
know.
bucks,
I don't know
30
for
bucks a
Xbox
month?
what it is.
Regardless of what it is.
For sure.
You get EA. You get all those things all in one little package. And you don't ask, like, when the first time I went on there and looked at it, I'm like, oh shit, I have FIFA, I
Yeah.
have this, I have that. I'm like, I don't have to pay anything extra, nothing. No. And the nice thing is about that, there's no value to those games.
Yeah.
There's no value
Yeah,
to those sports games.
for sure.
So for me, paying that,
It like pays for itself.
it
almost.
pays for itself because once 22 is gone and you're in 23, 22 is literally worthless. Once you get 23 and you play it, it's worthless.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool. It's like Blockbuster days where you can just try out any random
just try 'em
game,
out, yeah.
and just see what you like, what you haven't
That's how
played.
it is.
Yeah,
I think so. Like for me,
that's how it's gonna be. Like
And I can see that.
the next console,
Yeah.
the next console upgrade for Microsoft and Sony is gonna be full digital. Sony's got to get their shit together, and I honestly think they are. I think this is all. I think they want people to focus on the inventory issues, so they don't talk about the online issues that they have, and I think they're working in the background, getting servers up because that's what they need. They need servers. They need servers all over the world, just like Microsoft does it. Because for me, for example, I don't have to go to, if I want to play a game, I don't have to go to a specific server for the game in Australia. No, it's over there
Yeah.
in the next state or whatever. I have it. I'm close. I'm done. Everyone has all that, those connections. Sony has to do that to give their customers a fighting chance next generation. Not this generation. This generation, they're fine. For the next 10 years, they're good. They're going to have games. They're
Well,
going
they
to
got
have...
those exclusive games. That's what separates PlayStation
That's the
from
only
Xbox
thing.
when it comes
Yeah,
to,
that's the only thing
Yeah.
that's our...
That's what holds
that-
Xbox
yeah.
back.
The only thing is that Xbox, if this Activision deal goes through,
I think it will.
I think it will too. If it does go through, then there will be way more competition.
No, that's what we need.
That'll be a
honestly.
good thing, though.
They'll be amazing. It'll be
Yeah.
amazing. You know why? Because I want to see Sony. Because my favorite game.
Talking all time.
No. My favorite game that I've played for. Should we just move into PS5 and the Series S?
Yeah, then we can probably move into it now.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about the new stuff.
So going into the PS5 now, since Matt owns it, Puneet owns that, and I own the Xbox Series X. So they have the spaceship looking PlayStation, which is the coolest looking one.
It's by far the coolest looking.
Coolest,
The
yeah,
PlayStation.
I think
the
PlayStation
PS5
5 looks the coolest.
is the
compared to all
coolest
of them.
looking
So far, yeah.
console
Yeah,
that I've seen.
It lived up to its name on the
Yeah.
design.
100%.
Yeah,
even on the controller.
I
The
really
fact that
like
it's
it. I
white
really like it.
separates
The white and
it.
black
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah.
And I'm really glad they changed up the controller.
They
Yeah,
did,
yeah,
Yeah, I like that
You
it's
needed it,
chubby.
Yeah,
I like that I like that it looks more chubby like the Xbox.
exactly.
Because I love the
heaviness,
feel,
the
Yeah.
thickness
the
of it,
feel
yeah,
of the Xbox. To me, I know a lot of people like they love the PlayStation where they have the joysticks.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just more ergonomical.
I mean, let's be
Having
honest.
it,
The Xbox controller is better than the
It is.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
It is.
Like in terms of the way your fingers are positioned
yeah,
and everything.
ergonomics,
It's the
Xbox.
best one.
Best
Yeah.
one.
technology,
The
PlayStation.
PlayStation's
Yeah, their
technology,
Dual
yeah.
Shock or whatever they're
Yes,
calling it
yes.
now, insane.
The DualSense.
The
Yeah,
DualSense. Yeah.
You know, there are two, like between the two, I would say there's a couple of things that Xbox still beats out on PlayStation
Mhm.
right now,
What is that?
right? And like what we were talking about is the fact that even though this should have been done, this is probably the reason why the PlayStation 5 is essentially not a ready
System.
console, right? Is because it's supposed to be so powerful that I should be able to run a game
Mhm.
and then quickly switch to another game while that game
Is
does not have to close out.
exactly.
It should still be operating, right? Like the console is strong enough. It's definitely able to, right? Because the Xbox does it fluidly right now, right?
Mhm.
Go back and forth. I can open up 4 different games, right? I can play Halo and be on level 2 and press pause, and then go to 2K, right? Play my 2K game, and then go back to my Halo game and then unpause that moment, and then continue.
Can I give you my opinion?
Hmm.
Microsoft or the Xbox
Yeah.
is running off a version of Windows.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense there.
So you're looking at a OS that is made for multitasking.
Multitasking.
sure.
Yeah.
So
It's
when
computerized.
I
yeah
was just about to say
yeah
it's PC.
it's a PC. It's this thing is a PC in the shape of a trash can.
Yeah.
Really,
Basically.
it's a PC shaped of a trash can.
Yeah.
But you know what? I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
It's because it has an insane way to get air through.
Yeah.
I love that.
The fan
That's
being
the
over
fan.
it, yeah.
I love the way they did it, and I love the green little accent. But for Microsoft and the way the Xbox plays games, it's just the way it's like Apple and iOS. It's just memory management.
Yeah.
It's memory management. It's memory management. It's the way your processor is. The way you program the processor to work with the motherboard, to work with your memory. Everything needs to work together. Sony creates consoles. Microsoft creates the OS that goes into computers.
So they're always going to be a little bit ahead on the OS
They're
side.
always gonna have that little jump, that little edge. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
The little edge over Sony when it comes to memory management.
And you see it.
You see it.
You see it because it's so fluid. It was fluid
It's
when
super
it was.
fluid.
It was fluid when it was Xbox One.
Yeah.
It was fluid then. It was fluid
yeah.
the last generation.
Yeah.
Like there was no, like real hiccups that I ever saw. And don't forget, the Xbox One wasn't even if you think about it, a gaming console. It was an entertainment
It was
console.
supposed to be made so
That's
you can
true.
It was an
switch between
entertainment.
your TV,
Yeah.
Yep.
go back to your
Mhm.
game,
Yep.
and I
Yeah.
agree.
If you look in the back of your Xbox, an Xbox One, you would see TV in, TV out.
Mm-hmm.
You connected your whole entertainment center to this, so you
Yeah.
would go to this to go to your TV, to watch TV, to access different things. It was an amazing console.
Yeah.
It was I think way ahead of its time.
It was.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think you said it the best. PlayStation was known in the gamer's mind,
Mhm.
right? Whereas like the Xbox was more with the computer technology,
Mhm.
right? So at one point, it was like Xbox was almost like, you know what, we're gonna have PlayStation have its edge
Mhm.
on the game, right? Because we're not too far off. It's very minuscule. Like if you're looking at the difference between
Yeah.
the PlayStation graphics and version compared to the Xbox, it's not saying the Xbox better or vice versa,
For sure.
but it's very minuscule, right? So then what did Xbox do? They say, you know what? Let's give now the ultimate experience, right? Let's put our multitasking skills at hand. You know, let people enjoy their TV, their movies, right, more fluidly. Let them all do it in one spot, you know, rather than trying to go to multiple spots of apps or whatever that you have to use. And that's where we will get our clientele or our niche, right? And they've done that. There's clearly a very large amount, not a small, a large amount of Xbox users equivalent to PlayStation, right? So it's pretty equal, I would say, for the most part. You know, back then maybe a little different.
Back then was way, it wasn't
It
on
was
Microsoft's
PlayStation
side.
dominated.
Yeah.
The reason was because Microsoft released it with the Kinect.
Correct.
And you had to get the Kinect
Yeah.
included, and that just killed the sales.
Well,
And everyone jumped over to PlayStation.
everyone jumped to PlayStation for that reason too. Yeah, because in the 360, when I bought the 360, right, I had to get the stupid Wi-Fi adapter thing, right? Then when you bought your controllers, you had to buy the adapters because you didn't want to keep switching the stupid battery on them each time.
But
too.
you know what? I will take the batteries over having an internal
Constantly charging. I think having that option is cool. I've always been a fan of what PlayStation has done.
Yeah.
It's
So like the rechargeable
I would
battery
all day.
internal.
Yeah.
That see that again. Y'all got the whole Sony thing going, and for
But
me,
I mean, I've
because
had the
for me-
Xbox, so I know that was always cool. To
So
have
for
that
me,
option.
like it's nice. It's because once they're done, it's just I can just switch over. I don't need to go plug it in.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't need to go. If I want to plug it in, I can.
Yes.
But I don't need to. And I already I always have like 2 or 3. If you look over here, right to the side, you see the little Xbox. Yeah, that charges batteries. The little one.
Oh snap!
Yeah, that's a rechargeable battery charger. So it charges on both sides.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like I always have them ready, and you know and they last. They last. I honestly, if I play, I want to say like a couple times a week, it'll last like at least a month.
Wow.
Before I have to change
That's
them.
not bad at all.
No. Really, they don't.
That's
They
pretty
last
good.
a while, and it'll tell you like, it'll say this much, boom, and also don't forget, they have the third party. Put them on there, and you can just put them on a charging thing, and they'll just charge on the tray.
Right away, yeah.
See, that's cool. Now, like, also, like, kind of since we're talking about PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox here, I feel like also the reason Sony's been so low on inventory is because this was not supposed to be the version of the PS.
For them to be sold out in over 2 years.
It's not even the sold
it's
out
like,
part.
Come on, man.
Dude, you've been out for how many years now?
I'm saying like almost 2.
Almost 2 years, right? Almost 2 years, right? There's no way you're as big as Sony and you're not able to mass produce PlayStation 5s because you've done it with the PS4, which had like one of your highest demands for the longest time, right? So you're going to tell me that this new console, right, that we were been waiting for cannot be mass produced to the point where people have to spend double the amount to other people just to like people are paying $500 more than what the system costs.
It's not that the inventory is low, is that these bots are buying all of them up.
Which is also the other issue nowadays compared to before.
But
They're not doing that with the Xbox.
I know.
No.
I can go to Best Buy right now and
I
get an
could go to
Xbox.
ABT Best Buy.
See, the thing is though that because the PS5 is way more wanted.
Yeah,
Right,
for sure.
That's the reason.
right.
If trust me, if Microsoft made a big deal like the PlayStation, Sony did with the PlayStation,
I don't
they
know.
would
I
have
think it's a
wanted.
business move.
It's a business.
I
move,
feel
Like
they
they
guaranteed.
want.
Yeah. Well, don't forget they've already come out with 3 versions of the PlayStation 5. There's 3 different versions.
What do you mean?
The first one, which you have,
Okay.
the OG,
Oh, I know what you're talking
with
about.
the cooling system.
Yes.
There's they're already on the third one.
Yeah.
There's 3 different versions.
That's interesting.
Yes, there's 3 different versions now. The third one, they're already on the third one, and it's already way smaller. So what I'm thinking is, every time they're coming out with it, it's getting smaller and smaller because they're gonna come out with the halfway point, and they're gonna come out with slim.
I can see a slim.
I can see the PS5 Slim coming out. I don't know. I feel like the Slim. The design on just the regular PS5 is so nice.
I wouldn't
You
want
know,
a slim.
I would even want a slim version of it. You know, it's like when the PS3 came out with the PS3
I think they
Slim.
should honestly
Unless
just
they
come
come
out
out
with a
with-
totally different.
It has to look.
I was gonna
completely-
say, unless they take it to like a cheaper
Yeah.
PS5, maybe you don't get 4K. I don't know.
I don't know, whatever
you
it may
take
be.
something out of it.
I think like the
Xbox?
the Type S
Yes.
or the Series
Yes,
Series
I can
S.
see them coming out with a slim for that reason.
I wouldn't be surprised. That would be a great see they I think they should Xbox should have done, or Microsoft should have done what Sony did. They should have came out with a digital version of the X
Yeah.
and a non-digital version, because it only comes as a
Yeah.
non-digital version,
Mm-hmm.
and the S only comes as a digital
The digital version, yeah.
But I am very happy that they came out with the S, is because I want to say 70% of the people will buy the S.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I think so
Yeah.
on their side. But I also feel like Xbox gained a lot of PlayStation customers because of their lack of
Just being able to go and
Yeah,
buy
again,
one. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because like I said, the graphics are very minuscule, right?
Compared,
To the
yeah.
point if they even buy it for their child,
You wouldn't know.
like they wouldn't even, bat an eye.
But also, don't forget, there's one thing that Microsoft will until PlayStation does it the correct way, their back catalog.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for that, yeah, Xbox got it hands down.
For sure.
Like they're backwards.
PlayStation only has their exclusive games.
That's the only thing.
That's
And then
literally the only thing that's gonna hold.
that's only gonna hold them for
So
so,
far,
long
for
now,
so long, because
the
yeah.
deals that are going through
I
now,
know, yeah.
it's gonna make PlayStation push themselves even more,
Yep.
right? And it's gonna make Xbox even more better and appealing, right? Like I'm not gonna be here and say that I haven't thought about getting an Xbox, right?
For sure.
But a lot of the reasons, once again, is because of the people that have the system for
Mhm.
me, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, so like sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I want an Xbox, but I'm not gonna play an Xbox by myself.
Exactly. I mean, and that's where it's gonna get to.
It's like having a phone.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just like having a
It's
phone,
like
right?
having a phone. Everyone's got an iPhone.
Unless
Everyone's
they
got an
do cross console, I mean that would be
Look,
the only
look,
thing you could
no.
you could do.
I'm telling you, if Sony is ever okay with doing cross console compatibility,
Yeah.
because Microsoft's open to it.
Yeah.
Well, Microsoft's already. I mean, they're already
They've
doing
been
it
all-
with games, right?
They've been doing it with computer, like they've been,
with some, yeah.
But I mean,
Like-
if they do cross
Like
compatibility,
getting game
Yeah.
chats and everything
That
involved.
was so sick.
Then that would be game over.
and then
but I'd be on an Xbox.
You really think you would be?
I think for sure I would be. Yeah, I think just the way I am, because I obviously game, but I'm more like a show and movie guy.
Yeah.
You know, so I enjoy that a lot more, and just kind of being able to kind of switch in between.
Mhm.
A lot more fluidly. Like PlayStation does it, obviously. So I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
But to be able to pause my games right now,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
go
huge
kind
for
of
you.
back and forth.
Mhm.
I think that's pretty
It,
huge.
it does that. It does that really well. And I want to say for the Xbox, they like Microsoft in general, the way they brought out this console and the S, they brought them out very like
I would want to say nonchalant, but they did it strategically almost, right?
Yeah.
It's like they knew exactly
When to
when
place
to
it.
place these,
Exactly. Like they knew what to say. They knew when to do everything. Like, hey guys, these are out. If you want them,
Here they are.
here they are.
right? That's that Steve Ballmer guy, right?
Yeah,
He's a smart ass dude,
Yeah,
bro.
they're here. If you need them, they're there for you.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, like I said, if they do cross play, and they just open up the floodgates, which I honestly think, if they don't do it, the EU will.
Well, I think this is more of a
They're gonna sue them.
PlayStation issue.
Yeah.
It is-
They,
it
they
is-
gotta
it's
make
not
the
an
jump.
Xbox.
No,
No,
no, no. They're
Xbox
not.
has been
It's
wanting
up
it for
for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
They've been wanting to do it for years.
And
Because you might lose people.
Like I just said,
Yeah, I know.
like if I'm
Sony,
able to,
Sony will lose a lot. That's me. Sony will lose a lot, especially if this happens with this issue with
For
inventory.
sure, I can see it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think
Man.
so.
Because
I
why
think-
wait when you can just jump on?
Yeah,
I can get
And
on Call
that's
of
why
Duty.
they
You
won't
have
do
Call
it.
of Duty. We can play together.
that's it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that'd be that's it.
And that's why Sony will never do it.
That's why they're not going to do it.
No.
No, they're not going to want to lose.
No,
Now-
I mean, you have to bring something to the table.
Unless the games become so specific, right?
Sorry, can you just check over this?
Oh, yeah.
If it's a black screen in the back. I don't know if it did it or not.
It says press.
Okay, so
active movie
Hello?
shooter.
press the button on the right. Of
Probably
the-
like within an hour.
You see all the way on the top.
I'm just at my friend's house right
And
now.
then back. Do you see where it says push that button on the screen?
Oh yeah.
Push that button.
Okay.
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 So,
Now I see.
all right. So, move it like that. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, perfect.
Is it
Now
on?
hit that button again.
Same one.
Same button. It'll turn red. All right. So, okay. Yeah. So I think.
So like, oh yeah. So what I was mentioning
Oh, yeah.
is, I think that they're gonna get so exclusive with the games,
Mhm.
right? That like, of course, there's gonna be some that are just gonna do what they're still doing now, like the Call of Duties, the 2Ks. They'll still go cross.
See, but here's the thing though. If this Activision thing goes through with Microsoft, and Sony doesn't like, because Sony's already trying to stop this because they're saying that they'll hold Call of Duty and they won't give it to Sony, Microsoft, whatever. Microsoft will get it. Like, they're making money.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Like why would they be so stupid to make this game exclusive when they make so much money off of it?
Yeah.
No, they're not going to do that. You should open up a little bit because they're still giving you the game.
Mhm.
That's how I look at it. If this deal goes through,
Yeah.
if they're not going to take it out of your apps like game store, you can not, your customers can pay for the game and play it. You should open up.
Yeah, it benefits them.
Yeah, it does.
It benefits because you're also getting Xbox players to get a glimpse of how a PlayStation works,
Mm-hmm.
because there is going to be some things that are different. There's going to be some things that you'll see that on the Xbox will be different than on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It'll be something. But I honestly think that if it doesn't work, or if Sony doesn't take that next step forward to try to make gaming better,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't.
They could lose.
I think they can already start losing people.
yeah,
Start
and
jumping.
They're probably already losing people just due to the fact of the
Can't get
inavailability
one, yep.
of getting their product. Like, I got lucky. I own a PS5.
mhm,
I have the disc version,
mhm,
and I paid $550
Yep.
from not a store.
mhm.
I paid from somebody that
Oh,
had
you
it
didn't
brand
get it
new.
when it first came out?
No, I had to wait. I couldn't get it.
Damn.
Like, I tried.
I got lucky.
How much did you
See,
pay?
I tried to get it.
I paid $600 because I got the what is it?
Digital?
No. I got the disc one, but it came
The
with like
membership?
a warranty. I couldn't buy it without like
The
a warranty.
warranty.
And that was the only way I could check out. I said, dude, I'll take it.
Oh, well, either
mean,
way,
yeah.
it works out for you anyway.
Warranty,
Right?
why not?
100%,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
warranty, why not?
No, I ended up getting it, and I paid $550, and I refused to like pay somebody like $300 to $400, $500.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
so to me, $550 was like $500 plus tax.
How much
Yeah.
longer would you say you
I
waited?
had probably waited like 5 to 6 months,
Oh wow.
but I wasn't even trying.
At
Like,
that time.
no, because I was at the time managing, right? And one of my coworkers came up and said, like, hey, I overheard. I know you don't got a PS4 or you don't got a PS5, so I got a homie that's got one that's brand new. Like, did you want it? Right? He's gonna hook you up for $550. I'm like, as long as it's $550, I'm cool with it, right?
Mm.
Because the $500 plus tax, I would have paid this anyways.
Yeah.
So I got it. I don't got a warranty on it. Everything's been running smooth so far.
Mhm.
But that's how I had to get mine.
For sure.
You know.
But you got
And-
lucky, honestly.
Well, I
Yeah.
got lucky in that aspect. Like with the amount of bots nowadays, like somehow
It's so hard.
I don't know how Jeff got it. Jeff somehow got it online, You know, Joey got it online.
I got mine online.
You know, you guys all somehow avoided the bots.
Yeah.
You got it in the cart. You click. My issue was I would get it in the cart,
And check out.
and then the bot. It's like, yeah, I would try to check out and then be like, oh, you know, the bot was faster.
Sold
than you,
out.
you know?
Yeah.
You know, so that was my issue. But luckily, I gave up. I was gonna ride the PS4 for a little bit. Got to the PS5. Here I am now, right? But just to kind of end things, like on my side for the PS5, like to me, one of the games that like really kind of stuck out for this year, on a PS5 side, like in terms of detailing, like everything from top to bottom, I would have to say it's got to be the Ghost of Tsushima for me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's like it takes, especially with the PS5 version, you know.
But don't forget, I was gonna say that's a PS4 game.
Yeah.
That was like the max, like pushing everything on the PS4. That's the game you get right there.
That's the game you get right there. Yeah. And like for the PS5, you had, you know, the fluidity, you had detailing, you know, and then also, like we were talking about gigabytes earlier, right? Like to download Ghost of Tsushima, a phenomenal game, is only 60 gigabytes,
Nothing.
right? It's nothing, right? But then you get like Call of Duties and NBAs and stuff like that. And obviously the reasoning is because they have an online base, right? So they have to have online communities and stuff like that. That's why Ghost of Tsushima came out with the online version, right? But it's completely separate, right? But if you add the two together, it's like equivalent to 110 gigabytes, you know, where so like space-wise, like we're going to get screwed on there cuz like that's where consoles need to like 750 whatever gigabytes it comes with is stupid.
I bought
like
a 2 terabyte SSD.
Yeah.
Just so I wouldn't even have to worry about deleting constantly just to install a new game.
Like at least it should come out with, I would say,
an
like
actual terabyte.
well, the Xbox does that, right?
Yeah.
Comes out with the terabyte, right? Or at least even like 1.25, you know, something like a little bit more, right?
I think mine is a terabyte.
It is. I'm reading it off your box.
Oh yeah, that's right over there.
Yeah.
It is a terabyte.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Xbox got another upper hand.
Yep.
You know, you're gonna get 250 gigabytes more, right? Because I think the PS only comes with 750.
Yes, correct.
You know, so you're getting 250 more, right, on there too. But you know, that's, you know, those are gonna be the little details there.
And just so everyone's not confused, the reason why the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One S and the One X, they're so insane when it comes to hardware. These are consoles that are right under, or I want to say they're a degree under gaming PCs.
Yep.
Like they've gotten so far up the ladder now, and they finally have gotten something that PCs have had for years.
Right.
Matt just said it, SSD.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason why the gaming experience is so much faster on the consoles now. It's because of the solid state drives. Don't listen to Sony. Don't listen to Microsoft. We did this. We made this. This is why it's a custom. SSDs are SSDs. They're fast. They read really quickly. And that's why you'll see a game load up in 2 to 3 seconds instead of the 15 seconds it used to be before.
Right.
Like Matt said, he has a 2 terabyte that he put in his PlayStation 5. And guess what? Is there any difference between yours and the hard drive that came with it? Do you see nothing? So don't listen to the hype. It's just a marketing thing.
That's all it is.
It really is. That's all it is. It's a marketing thing. You know, it sucks for me to say that, but it is. It's a SSD. You can go buy SSDs for your computer for $20-$30.
Crazy.
They're a little more expensive because they're a little more expensive for the Xbox and the PlayStation. It's because they're using specific versions of the SSD which are higher rated, but nevertheless they're just SSDs.
I mean, you can get a cheaper one with no heatsink though, and then you got to install that on top of it.
Yeah.
So
So there are little tidbits,
small details,
little small details, but again, this is just another step forward to get that second or that next level of graphics.
Yeah.
the PS6 will come out with better graphics, PS7, and whatever Microsoft calls the Xbox, but it will take a while to go past computers.
It's gonna be so hard.
It's gonna be a very, very long journey.
Long journey.
Because of video cards, limitations on gaming consoles,
Right.
the non limitations of gaming consoles. So gaming PCs instead against gaming consoles. So there are differences. The differences are getting much narrower now, but there's still a gap. And through the years, the gap will get smaller, but I would say if you have never tried a gaming PC, try one. Just to give you an idea of what the pinnacle
Of gaming is.
Because a gaming PC will always give you the highest resolution,
Yeah.
the best graphics that you can have compared to PlayStation or Xbox. Does not matter, either one. Gaming PCs will always be the best of the best, and in a way, it's a cheat.
It is.
It's a cheat because with a gaming PC, you can use it as a normal PC. You can do normal things on it. But here's the advantage of the Xbox over the PlayStation. Xbox has Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, so you
have
got
a
a browser.
full browser that you can do anything on.
Let's see this.
And Sony has one too. Sony has their Internet Explorer,
Yeah,
but it's a
I'd rather take out my phone.
yeah, it's not a decent experience.
No, it's not
But
at all.
but again, how we've reviewed gaming through the years, graphics, different manufacturers, the main two, Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sony and Microsoft. You have gaming PCs, and when I mean gaming PCs, I mean made by Razer, custom made, make it yourself, or the handful of boutique gaming PC makers. Guys, thank you so much, Puneet. Matt, thank you
man.
guys.
This
Good
was
time.
fun, man.
It was
fun.
great.
This
Thank
was
you so
really
much for
fun.
this.
Yeah.
Again, thank you guys so much for watching. This was another episode of Brostechtalk Podcast. And until next time, Nanu Nanu.
We'll see you soon.
That was